Okay, good evening once again. Welcome to the Pelicans versus Boston Celtics game here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are live tonight, so we are going to do the game in just a few moments. So thanks for joining us. So we will send the links out to the to all the to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. The video chat link will be from StreamYard. You can come in. Talk about the game tonight, or if you want to do it regular chat, you can do that as well. So we appreciate it anytime you come in here and chat with us. So we will begin in just a few moments. Pelicans versus Celtics in just a few moments. Tip off and here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We're going to get ready to send those links out to you. So all those links are sent out. So everything's sent out to everyone. So let's give you a scoreboard update here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Okay, Washington down 28-24. That's in the second quarter. That game's going on as we speak. That's Washington and Indiana. Game's going on right now, 28-24. Okay, let's give you college basketball update. 11-12 remaining. Houston on top, 12-6. That game's going on in the first. So that's first half. That's the Elite Eight. Also, the other game later on this evening, Baylor will take on Arkansas. That will be after 8 o'clock tonight, 8:57. That'll be on CBS. So Elite Eight action going on tonight. So let's give you an update on women's basketball. Okay, also Elite Eight action on the women's side. Connecticut on top, 33-32. The game. Well, I follow that. Arizona taking on Indiana, so that would be after later on this evening. That is in basketball action. So we'll wait for the feeds to begin. Fox Sports New Orleans will be on during the broadcast. So if you want to come in, listen to the game, you'll hear the same thing I'm watching. So that's you won't miss a play. Also, you'll have the live scoreboard on the screen where you will not miss a play as well. So thanks for joining us here. Okay, let's give you some updates on some NHL games. Buffalo on top 1-0 first period. Pittsburgh on top 1-0 first period. And also Toronto is on top 2-1 also first period. So that is games getting ready to start. We will have Pelicans basketball in just a few moments. So tonight's game, I'll be honest with you. Look, this game, we won that game the other night against Dallas. I mean, look, we had a pretty good performance against them. But tonight is a totally different story. You're facing Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. That's, like I said, you got to So starting lineups for the Pelicans: Walker, Bledsoe, Ingram, Adams. For Boston, Walker, Smart, Tatum, Williams, and two Williams is in there. So G. Williams and R. Williams are the two players that's going to play for Boston tonight.
James Johnson and Wes Iwundu are getting a crash course in all things Pelicans
so
basketball.
So the game feed is on.
Finally had their
Fox Sports New Orleans.
They're acclimating well. No surprise, especially for James Johnson. He's a 12-year NBA vet, been on 5 different playoff teams. He's expected to bring a lot of grit and edge to this squad. Today, he explained what he likes best about his new coach, Stan Van Gundy, and that is tonight's Taco Bell take.
It's been great. You know, he's the godfather of this game. You know, if you could say, you know, has a lot of knowledge of it. You know, and I'm happy I get to be under his.
I'm glad to see this young. I'm glad we see we got James Johnson with the New Orleans Pelicans. So hopefully He will get some minutes tonight, so I'm pretty sure he will off the bench.
Entertaining how he coaches.
Now, when we talk about grit and edge with this guy, he's thinking about a UFC career when he's done with hoops. James Johnson, not Stan Van Gundy, but there's Van Gundy. Guys, Van Gundy says he would not hesitate to play Johnson tonight, put him into this game if he is needed, despite the lack of reps and lack of time with the team. That's just because of Johnson's veteran savvy.
Yeah, 32-year-old who knows how to play the game. And a defense.
So tip off momentarily. So Pelicans are wearing their Pelicans are wearing their blue jerseys tonight. Boston wearing their white jerseys. So tip off. So the tip off is going to be controlled by the Pelicans here early in the first. So Walker will pass it. Williams will pass. Excuse me. Ingram will try to get a shot off, and that's going to be shot is no good. So that's no good. So the ball will go back to Boston. Looks like we're having a little issues with the no score. So Jason Tatum. So once again, the first basket of the game, 3-0 Celtics. So 3-0 Celtics after the 3-point shot by Tatum. Pelicans 26.2 assists in games and also 46.3 rebounds. So the ball goes back to the Pels. That's going to be Ingram. We'll get a shot off and nope. So Brandon Ingram will go to the line early here in the first. 3-0 score.
And when I think back to that game, what really stands out to me is that comeback. That comeback and that mentality that you talk about that you need to take on the road was that mentality that was shown.
First free throw by Ingram. It's good. So it's 3-1 Boston.
That was the Pistons matchup with the Chicago Bulls about a month ago, and it was a 25.
Second free throw for Brandon Ingram. It's good. So the game is down to 1 point lead, 3-2. 3-2. So Boston 112 points a game. They shoot 47%, 12 in the NBA. Also, Boston is 37%, and that shot is good by Boston, so it makes it 5-2. There's Robert Williams getting the basket, so Robert Williams making it 5-2. 3-point shot is good. So the Pels tied the game at 5. So 5-5 Pelicans here in the first quarter. So Bledsoe knocks it down.
It's good to see him come out and shoot with confidence. There was zero hesitation.
Go 5-2, 5-5. So the ball goes back to Boston. 3-point shot is no good. Missed by Boston. Ball goes back to the Pels. And Zion will try to get it, and that ball will go out of bounds. Pelicans will still have the ball.
And that's the thing that you question about Kemba. You know, when the season started, he wasn't healthy. His knee was kind of messed up, and they were talking about how long he was going to be out.
And the ball goes, once again, Pelicans will inbound it. That's Adams. That goes to so Evan Fournier, the young guy, and that shot is no good. Missed shot. So it's gonna be a free throw coming up for the Pelicans. So Steven Adams, Marcus Smart got the shooting foul.
This is what Steven has to do. If you want to leave me and go rotate block shots, I have to kill you on the offensive glass.
Robert Williams, a native.
First free throw is no good by Steven Adams, who misses the first.
First round pick of the Celtics a couple of years ago. Texas A&M had a value pick at 27th overall.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, second free throw
He had 13 boards in the first matchup and 6
is no good. Second free throw no good. Ball goes back to the Celtics. Celtics tied up at 5. See if they can try to get something going here. And the ball's taken away by the Pels. They'll try to get to the lane and does get the basket. That's going to be B.I. getting the basket, makes it 7-5. So 7-5 Pelicans on top. Passes over. They'll pass it. So that ball goes over to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum knocks it down. So 8-7 Boston. So Tatum, that's one guy you got to slow down. Tatum for 3. So 8-7, 9:30 remain in the first.
He's recovered well. What I mean by that with Jason Tatum is the fact that, he was hit with COVID earlier this season. When he first came back, he was kind of struggling about how do I get my wind back, and he has picked it up. And he's so smooth offensively. He reminds me a lot with the basketball, the way he handles and the way that he creates space.
So the ball goes back to the Pels. 8-7 is the score. So they will try to go to the lane. Zion, the ball is blocked out, and the Pelicans get the ball back to the Celtics. Looks like technical difficulty again. I don't know what's going on with the feed. So 8-7 is the score. We'll go over to NBA TV. I think we're having a little issues with Fox Sports New Orleans' feed, so I'm going to have to go. No, it's back on. So it's still 8-7. And the shot is good. So 10-8 Pelicans. So 10-8 Pelicans on top. Brandon Ingram knocks in the 3. 10-8 is the score. So Tatum will attempt the shot, and he does knock it down. So Tatum gets it again. So it's 8 points for Tatum. So 10-10. So the game's even at 10. There's going to be a foul on Williams. Williamson, Zion will go. That's probably not going to be a free throw opportunity. It's probably going to be just a personal foul.
Zion comes into the game, and are they going to give him 2?
Of course they're not.
No, they're probably not going to give it to him. So tied at 10, so the ball goes back. Go to the Pelicans. That's only a personal foul. That's no shooting foul there. Ingram for 3. No good. Ball goes back to the Pels. Still 10-10. So we're going to have to. We have to go to NBA TV. So we're going over to NBA TV. The game. Fox Sports New Orleans is not working properly, so we have to go over to NBA TV. So we're going to go over to NBA TV. We apologize. Having a little issues with the connection. Nope, it's blacked out, so we have to stick with the Pelicans broadcast. Still 13-12. We're having a little issues. Please bear with us. It's not us. It's the Fox Sports New Orleans feed. So 13-12 is your score. And that shot is so once again, NBC Sports Boston, the feed in New Orleans is not picking up properly. So we have the Boston feed. So once again, still 13-11. So free throws for Tatum, and the free throw is no good. Ball goes back to the goes back to the Pels. So Zion Williamson will pass it to Bledsoe, and they'll pass it down low to let's see. So 1 point lead. They'll try to get a shot off. Zion will attempt a three. That shot is no good. So missed 3-point shot by the Pels. Ball goes back to Boston. Still 13-12 is the score. And the three is good. So Boston gets a three. 16-12 is your score. So Kimball Walker knocks down the three. Zion will try to go to the lane, and he does get the basket. Makes it 16-14. So once again, apologize for the technical problems. Fox Sports New Orleans is having a little issue, so we have the alternative. So once again, 14-12 is your score. Right now, Fox Sports New Orleans is having some technical problems. We have the NBC Sports Boston site. So once again, that's a replacement. So let's give you the numbers on the Pels right now. Pels 45%, Boston 75%. 3-point shooting, Pels are at 2 of 4, Boston 4 of 6. Free throw shooting, Pelicans 2 of 4, going to the line. Boston 0 of 1. Rebounding aspects, Pels and Celtics even at 4. Offensive rebounds, Pels lead 1-0, and Boston leads 4-3 on the defensive side. Now the turnovers, Boston leading 3-0 on that situation. Best break points, Pelicans lead 4-0. Also, Pelicans lead 6-2 on points to the paint. So once again, 16-14 is your score. On Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Once again, please bear with us. We're having a little. Fox Sports New Orleans is having some technical problems. So the game audio will be on, but once again, we'll have a different. So let's see what's happening. Looks like nobody in here yet. So 16-12. Okay, games going on right now. Washington on top, 49-46. Also, Brooklyn on top, 22-18. And also Miami and New York tied up at 8. Those games are going on in the first. So that's we'll get back to game coverage. Pelicans versus Celtics. We will be on Thursday as well for that game. Okay, NBC Sports Boston's taking over the New Orleans Pelicans broadcast because of the technical problems. Trying to send the signal from New Orleans to
on Thursday and welcoming in the Atlanta Hawks on Friday. Nice break of sorts for the Pelicans because guys just come after 7 Western Conference opponents. The Pelicans delicious night, just 1.5 games outside of the play-in tournament. So New Orleans certainly looking to gather some wins and make some moves in regard to playoff position.
Yeah, right now they're a game back, as you mentioned. Yeah, 25 losses. Golden State got 24. Golden State lost 4 games in a row. They're trying to figure things out as Zion missed the first. But the last 3 games, so we documented at the top of the telecast, Zion missed the last 3, 36 and 53. I mean, it's amazing what we're watching. And then you
okay.
Look at the points, 39-27.
So the Pelicans feed back on. So once again, please bear with us. 16-15 is your score. Zion Williamson free throw was good, and the shot is no good by Boston. Ball goes back to the Pels. Pels down by 1. Zion Williamson will pass it. Looks like they're once again they're having a little issues tonight. Sorry about that. So 16-15 is the score. Let's see if they can try to get something going here. Boston will try to attempt the three, and it's no good. Zion will try to. Let's see if Zion. Brandon Ingram will try to get the shot off, and he won't. No good. Shot no good. Ball goes back to the Boston Celtics, still leading 16-15. And let's see if they can. Nope. So it's going to be a foul coming in. So Kemba Walker will attempt his free throws. Period. To the team is equivalent to, like Sam Van Gundy said, of giving them another Gordon Hayward type player to add alongside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Okay, the first free throw is up, and it is good. So it's 17-15 Boston on top. So we're waiting for the second free throw to come up. Okay, second free throw, it's good. So it's 18-15, back to a three-point advantage. Pelicans and so once again, we're having a little issues. It's going to flip back and forth with Fox Sports New Orleans and NBC Sports Boston. So please bear with us if you're in here. That free throw is good, so it makes it 21-15 Boston. So Boston up. So 11-3 run for the Celtics.
You look for consistency. That's all. Nick Heel and Josh Hart into the game. Now shot clock down, and it's going to be a turnover.
So it's going to be a turnover. Definitely a turnover.
Facing a team that is desperate for wins now. They come in, they're the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. They're right at the 500 mark at 23-23. And like the Pels, they have issues on the road too. But they're missing Gordon Hayward from last year. Now they get Fournier. And they're also missing another guy that nobody really talks
about. Left corner three is no good. Boston misses. Ball goes back to the Pels. Bledsoe will pass it to Hart. Pass it to Ingram. And that three is good. So 21-18 is the score. So the lead is cut. So 21-18.
Hit Brandon Ingram cross court on time and on target. Excellent read by Josh Hart.
Brandon already in double figures. Man, good job, Steven Adams.
So Steven Adams,
Boston, but still, Jason Tatum. This is a tough matchup for Josh Hart, size-wise.
Oh boy, is it! You see, Josh Hart is going to get him off his ground, get off his feet, and then create.
So 21-18 is the score. Apologize once again. Fox Sports New Orleans is having some issues tonight with their feed.
First 12 minutes. So they're going to go into the bench already. Aaron Nesmith, their first round pick.
Okay, 21-18 is the score.
And it's a late whistle. They're going to send her to the free throw line. Yeah. I agree with you completely on that. That is so Wagner, who was taken by the Lakers. And most recently with the Washington Wizards.
So shooting foul on Walker. Free throw is up, and it is good. Makes it 22-18. Second free throw coming up for Boston is
Steven Adams will pick it up after the
good, so it makes it 22-18.
Just hang around with this team. Right. You can get her to the end.
So Brandon Ingram looks like, and that ball will go back to the Pels. The ball was thrown out of bounds by Ingram.
And what I mean by icing is they're not allowing Brandon Ingram to use it. Steven has to roll. He has to roll and get his man out of there. So now Brandon Ingram has Kemba Walker on him one-on-one. Standing there makes it a little too congested and too high out.
Okay, 22-18 is your score. Once again, we're having some technical problems with the feeds from Fox Sports New Orleans, trying to get to the send the satellite over to the game so you can have the game tonight. But unfortunately, we're having a little issue, so please bear with us. So it's like I said, it's not our issue. It's their issue among the network's issue. So let's give you the stats on this game. Boston's shooting 7 of 11, 63%. Pelicans 46.2%. 3-point shooting. Pelicans 3 of 5 for about 60. Boston 4 of 8, 50%. So free throw shooting, both teams not shooting consistently in the first quarter. Now the rebounding aspects, Pelicans lead 7-5, also 1-0 on offensive board, 6-5 on the defensive board. Assists at 5-4, so 5-4. Also fast break points, Pels lead 4-2. Also points to the paint, 6-4 Pels lead in their game. So 22-18 is your score. Here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are live. Once again, we're having some problems with the networks. Okay, updates on games going on. It is Washington on top 57-55. Brooklyn on top 35-22. Miami on top 15-12. That's 2 minutes in the first quarter. That game's going on. Also, the game's at 7 o'clock. Detroit and so we'll get back to game coverage. If we
As we let this play develop, icing or bluing the pick and roll means I'm not going to allow you to see Kemba Walker jump on his high side, and he's corralling and pushing Brandon Ingram away from the screen. If Steven dives down the middle of the floor, he's taking 2 people with him, which now gives Brandon Ingram an opportunity to go one-on-one with Kemba Walker.
So you counter.
Right, exactly.
So I really believe it. I said as soon as we went to break, I said I think Stan called the timeout. I said the adjustment.
So 22-18 ball goes back to the Pels. Brandon Ingram will inbound it. They'll pass it to Jackson Hayes, over to Walker, over to Ingram, and that shot is no good. Ball going back to the Boston Celtics. Right now, 6 of 14 for the Pels and 7 for 11 for the Celtics. And the ball goes back to the. So it's going to be a free throw opportunity for Josh Hart.
Yes. It's not 50-50 with Josh. Yeah. It's a 90-10. Look at his pursuing the basketball.
So good pursuit by Hart to get the basketball.
1 tip, 2 tips. He just continues to pursue the basketball. These are winning plays, especially on the road.
So 4-point game as Josh Hart.
Josh Hart will attempt the first free throw, and the first one, it's good. So first one's good, makes it 22-19.
These guys are emerging already this season, but join us next year for the 21-22 season, and you can buy with confidence, peace of mind purchase policy that's going on right now. And when you buy before the end of this month, all right, March 31st, you get the best payment plan. It's going to be. You're also going to be entered to win one.
So the free throw is good.
So join us next.
Makes it 20.
Right now. You can read about it.
22-21. Ball goes back to the Celtics.
It's only a 2-point lead for Boston.
They'll pass it.
Teams going into the bench. Marcus Smart.
And it's going to be
Fournier's got the
Fournier going to the lane, and the shot is no good for Fournier.
Pels will take it.
Josh Hart will go to the lane, and he will knock it down. So it ties the game at 22.
Know what you do well and make them stop you.
It's kind of funny. The engine room.
So Hart with
Josh is kind of like the motor of the engine room. It's a good entry, great pass,
and a good shot right there by Boston. So Tatum makes it 24-22.
4 inches to begin with.
Yeah, but Josh
So Bledsoe will attempt the three, and he doesn't get it.
A little bit short.
So no good for Bledsoe. Ball goes back to the Celtics. Nesmith, no good. Missed shot by Nesmith. Ball goes back to the Pels. Nikhil Walker gets the basket. Ties the game at 24. So 24-24.
play to your identity. You don't have to do what this league tells you to do. Do what the way your roster's constructed.
Selling and not buying.
Yeah,
Nope.
you ain't gonna get that call as a rookie.
Well, that ain't gonna happen. Ball. There's nobody touched it for the Pels.
Yep, Pels did touch it.
Smith, the shooter.
The ball will go back to
You know what the officials are basically saying?
Right.
They're basically saying, because no one touched it, they're basically saying, look, I can either call the foul on Brandon Ingram or give the Boston Celtics the ball. And a lot of times that is their exact explanation.
So the ball will go back to the Celtics on the out of bounds pass. Fournier will try to knock down a shot. No good. Ball will go back to the
That was a good screen.
Pels.
Smart.
Ball was deflected.
Nikhil Walker will get the basket. So 26-24.
Last 6 points in the paint.
Pels lead 26-24. Points in the paint 12-6 in favor of the Pels.
A big game in Oklahoma City. He's in for the first time. A shooter that started his
Well, let's see if
step back Tatum.
so Tatum misses.
Good activity off the ball. Zion gets there.
Zion will get the ball. Ball goes back. Kyra Lewis
It'll be Josh Hart.
got shot for three. Knocks it down. 29-24.
This is the result. That's an 11-2 run by the Pels.
So 11-2 run by the Pels here in this first. Shot is no good. Lewis will get the ball.
Now Kyra on the run.
Kyra will try to pass it down. 3-point shot is good. Josh Hart again for three. 10 points.
He's got 10 points.
So 32-24. So 10-0 run by the Pels in the last minute and 41 seconds.
It'll be Cornette.
Cornette will knock it down. So Cornette knocks down a three. So the ball goes still 32-27. And Zion. Let's see if Nikhil will pass it. Josh Hart will try to get it. It's going to be Walker. And no, the ball goes back to the Celtics.
Really good first 12 minutes for the Pels.
I tell you, we talk about how important the bench is when you have 3 games and 4 nights. The fact that they bring that energy. You know, Josh Hart right now has been the difference in his first quarter. Brandon Ingram getting up to a good start.
So 10 points for the Pels, 4 for the Celtics on bench. So
Pels are right now sitting with a 5-point lead.
It'll be Marcus Smart.
Cornette with 3, no good. Ball goes back to the
way too early. And Josh lost the handle.
Josh lost the handle, and that shot is no good.
Up by 5. We couldn't say this early, but the bench is really a strength now.
Yeah, but
The bench has been a big pick-me-up for the Pels over the last couple of weeks. So a strong beginning for the Pels. Hitting 52% at 5 of 9 so far from beyond the arc.
Not a bad first quarter for the Pels. 32-27 is your score. So let's give you the stat numbers from the first quarter. So I'm going to go ahead and give those stat numbers. Pels shooting 52%, 5 of 9 for 3-point range. Also, Pels right now is shooting 62%. Also, the rebounds, Pels lead 12-8. Also, the offensive rebounds is even at 1. And the defensive rebounds, Pels lead 11-7. On the assists, they lead 9-6. Turnovers 4-2 in favor of Boston. So right now 4-2 in favor of Boston. Points off for turnovers. Pels right now getting 3 off of those 4 turnovers, and then 4 off of the 2 Pelicans turnovers. Boston got. Fast break points 9-2 in favor of the Pels, and points in the paint 12-6. So 12-6 in favor of Pels. So once again, 32-27 is your score. Let's give you the other scores from the NBA tonight. Indiana on top, 58-57. It is Brooklyn on top, 41-27. And Miami on top, 27-18. That's in the second quarter. Also, Memphis and Houston scoreless. And Dallas and Oklahoma City scoreless in their game as well. So, 32-27, Pels will return in just a few moments. Game audio from Fox Sports New Orleans.
Famous parquet floor. Welcome back once again. Joe Myers, Antonio Daniels, Jen Hale in a 5-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Both these teams can score. Pels, in fact, fifth best now when it comes to points. And I like 9 assists. 7 different guys had assists in the first 12 minutes of play.
So 9 assists. Ball goes back to Boston, 32-27. Let's see what happens here. Boston will
because there is no Jaylen Brown.
That's going to be Foreigner. And shot is no good. Miss by and the ball goes back to the
now
Zion.
Spinning
Will
back.
try to go to the lane.
Too bad. And he feels the same way with the pass on the whistle.
Yeah, but the thing, sometimes you feel like he felt like he got hit early. He felt like he got hit a couple times early and it wasn't called.
Yeah.
So you basically assume that they're not going to call that one either.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard, who just checked into the game. Lead guard, their first round pick, 26th overall. As Grant Williams comes back into the game, but Pritchard.
So Grant Williams comes in for Boston.
Against Pritchard, small guards, speed guards.
So 32-27 is the score. Zion will go to the lane and gets the basket.
Yeah, that's not fair for Luke Cornett.
So 34-27.
Yeah, I tell you, it is not fair to be on that island.
Jackson Hayes matching up with Cornett now. The 3-point
Cornett.
shooter.
They'll pass it.
So now you start to think to yourself, where is Boston going to get their points from?
And a 3-point shot is good.
41% of his threes. He's a 23-year-old Portland who played 4 years of college ball.
So 34-30.
Cornett again.
Miss blocked by Cornett.
And it's picked up, and Pritchard's got it. Good take. Launching, but not getting it.
Nope, missed 3-point shot by Boston. Ball goes back to the Pels. It looks like we're having another problem with the connection. Apologize. We're having a little, like I said, once again, we're having some issues. So 34-30 is the score. Cornett misses the shot, 24 feet away. Hart gets the defensive rebound.
Before too long. Now, backing him down. And here comes the double. Zion beats the double. The amount of contact that they are allowing right now on Zion, it's almost comical.
Yeah. So it's still 34-30. Little technical issues with the Fox Sports New Orleans feed. Still 34-30.
So now you got a 5-on-4 situation.
And Josh Hart
recognizes.
And that shot is good. Josh Hart gets the basket, 36-30. Pelicans lead by 6. Hart 12, 5 boards.
He's got a shot blocker. He's a 3-point threat. Pels by 6. And given away by Fournier. It'll go the other way.
Fournier will give the ball away. Ball goes back to the Pels.
And that's okay. If that's what you're going to do for the remainder of the game, let it go. You see Josh Hart, once again, he's going to do this. Go coast to coast. First rule of basketball, in the transition situation, you got to stop the ball.
Josh Hart's already got 12 and 5 with a couple of assists. In 8 minutes of play, he's perfect from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. Kyra's got some.
Kyra Lewis knocks it down for 3. 39-30. Pels lead by 9.
Alluded to the way it looks now. He's got a little more arc on it. That's Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart misses, no good.
And Wessel gets it.
Ball goes back to the Pels.
Josh
Hart, no good. Missed 3.
When you haven't missed, that's a shot you'll take. That's a heat check.
6 of 11 for the Pels, 6 of 19 for the Boston Celtics.
Jackson Hayes
On
away.
threes,
And he saw the
and the 3 is and the putback is good. So it's 39-32.
Yeah, and Pritchard took the shot
So
because
39-30. Cornette gets the basket. So Kyra Lewis,
Kyra keeps it away from Pritchard.
nice little dive for the ball. Kyra Lewis.
Now shot clock consideration.
Zion will try to get the shot, and nope. And the roll was no good. Ball goes back to the Celtics.
Pels up by 7.
So pass it,
Yeah, they left Pritchard.
and that shot is good. So Pritchard knocks it down, makes it 39-35, cuts the lead to about a 4-point game. 39-35.
Pritchard, former player of the year in the Pac-12 last season. His impact felt of early triples. Pels up, still up by 4.
Pels are up by 4, 39-35. I'll be honest with you, those shots should have never happened. Peyton Pritchard was wide open. Well, you got to defend well against those Boston Celtics players because they can hit. They're hitting 30, I think it was 38% of their three-point shots. So they'll knock down threes when they can. So 39-35 is your score. Let's give you the stats on the game. 40% for the Pels. That's 48%. That's 48. 12 is 14 to 29. Boston 12 of 30. 3-point shooting, Pels are at 6 of 11 for about 54%. So a nice 3-point shooting in the second quarter. Boston's at 33%. Free throws is both teams are in the 60s on their free throws, 60. Rebounds, the Pels lead 17-14. Also, Boston leads 2-1 on the offensive boards. The defensive boards, Pelicans lead 16-12. Assists, Pelicans lead 9-8. Turnovers, Pelicans only had 2 turnovers, 5 for the Boston Celtics. Now the points in the paint and fast break points, Pelicans lead 11-2 and also 16-8 on fast break points. So score is 39-35. Here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, we all live. Memphis on top 13-11. That's in the first quarter. Dallas on top 12-9. That's also in the first quarter as well. So we're back to game coverage.
The energy power play, we can put Josh Hart up there because his impact is felt outside of just the scoring column. And he's been fantastic tonight, doing what he always does, making hustle plays, pursuing the basketball, but he's bringing that offensive punch to the game tonight as well.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny because they were guarding each other earlier, but he's
Yeah, you can see the sweat a little bit.
Marcus Smart is for the Celtics.
Good call.
You know, the heart and soul, the guy that kind of like.
So once again, 39-35 Pels.
Right.
Every team needs that guy. We talk about
We'll get the basketball. They will inbound it.
willing to do whatever it
That's going to be Ingram inbounding it, and
it's going the other way.
so the Pelicans, once again, that was a bad pass by Ingram. So once again, ball goes back to the Celtics.
Grant Williams knows it. That's why he's standing right there asking if he's okay. Right here.
Yeah, need him.
Yeah, he needs him.
And it wasn't intentional, but Grant Williams knows. And now, see if they overturn the call.
Yeah, again, this is another one of those plays where they basically say.
So the Pels will get the ball back. So it was an overturned call, 3-point shot. It's good. So Kyra Lewis makes it 42-35. So Kyra Lewis 6 points from 3-point range. See if they can try to get something going here. And Boston will pass it down low, and that is going to be a basket for Boston, 42-37.
That's what he came to believe.
That's a good pass. That's a good pass by Kemba Walker. Good finish by Fournette. Because he felt the contact on the arm.
So
free throws coming up for Boston.
25-year-old spent the last couple of years. His first 3 years with the Knicks, he showed signs. The last couple of years with the Bulls is Wesson Wundu is going to sit down.
You know, a minute ago,
Wesson Wundu. That's Wesson Wundu.
How much he is
in the game, so he's coming to well set. Jackson Hayes will pass it to Ingram. And the shot, Jackson Hayes.
And Brandon's looking over to the sideline official.
I tell you what, they're letting them play. They're letting them play right now. Again, the officials will not adjust to the players. The players have to adjust to the way that the game is being officiated.
Yeah, the free throws are almost identical. 8 for the Pels, 7 for Boston. And that was not a pass, but it was Grant Williams on Brandon Ingram's back. And that guy was upset. So we're coming to the side.
So the ball goes back to the Pels. Still 42-37. Let's see.
And the floater.
And it's no good. Ball going back to the Celtics on the missed floater.
Kemba Walker putting on the Jets. And Kyra held his ground.
Job stayed down.
Now,
So Tatum
back into the game. And the shooter stays out there.
Cornette knocks it down. So 42-40. A 3-point shot by Cornette. So we will have the game Thursday night as well. Boston Pelicans. That will be Thursday night's game. And the shot is good. Pelicans make the lead 4. So for Jackson Hayes. They'll try to get something. And then backdoor pass is good. Kemba Walker gets the basket, 44-42.
And then that's why it's on the guard to get back in front of the ball.
So Kyra Lewis.
Kyra sets it up for Josh Hart.
So Josh Hart puts it down again. 47-42. So 15 points for Josh Hart, 6 boards.
2 back-to-back possessions where they're really good reads.
So the ball goes back to the
assist to turnover ratio.
Tatum trying to get in.
Tatum will try to get to the lane.
Go to the line.
He will go to the line, so it's going to be 2 free throws. Look like Hart is going to be called for the foul.
Now you don't want to leave him as much. Kyra turning the corner, getting in that paint. It's an excellent. Yes, you're exactly right. That's a good catch. And then getting in the paint again and dropping it off to a red hot Josh Hart in his first half. 6-7 for the field, 15 points.
Pels have 12 assists on 17 makes.
So the free throw is up, and it is good. So that's Tatum on the line. So it makes it 47-43.
Is there a better twosome that you have Wayne?
So entering the game, Jackson Hayes will be Steven Adams. Steven Adams comes in.
Because they had the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Now, granted, it was the bubble. And everybody played under the same conditions.
And the free throw is good.
Everybody is expecting.
So it makes it 47-44. Back to a 3-point game.
But he did for them last year. He's in Portland again. So Gordon Hayward and Cantor, 2 vets, and a hold.
That's going to be a hold coming in.
Just a slight hold on Grant Williams.
So it's going to be Grant Williams on call for the foul for hold.
How about the combination of Kyra and Josh Hart? They've combined now for 21 minutes, 21 points, 7 boards, and 6 dimes.
And if you're Grant Williams, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, that's your job. You know, and probably tell him, go out there and try and get under Brandon Ingram's hand if you can. Be as physical as you possibly can.
Yep. So let's see if they can get a shot off.
Set it up.
So Brandon Ingram.
Up against Ingram.
And the ball will be taken away by Boston.
It'll be Kemba Walker.
So Kemba Walker for 3. No good. So Kemba Walker misses. Ball goes back to the Celtic Pels. That's going to be a charge.
It's just a matter of where his feet were. If he was outside the restricted
So it's going to be Josh Hart getting an offensive charge.
The one-man man.
And he is outside the restricted area.
So it goes back on the turnover.
So turnovers 5 apiece for both teams.
3 points off turnovers before this possession.
Points off for turnovers, Pelicans leading 11-3, and that is a basket for. So 47-46 Pels by 2. The ball goes back. Brandon Ingram.
The switch.
Has to be a switch out.
Take it over Williams instead.
Bledsoe for 3. Makes it 50-46. 9 of 14 for the Pels on threes. 64-35 for the Celtics. So on the 3-point shots, they're shooting 64%. Boston shooting 35. And Marcus Smart gets the basket, makes it 50-48.
No screen, no scheme, which means there's no reason to jump on his side, anticipating the screen if there's not a screen there.
Steven Adams, 2-man game. Brandon Ingram, good look on top.
And that shot is no good. Ball going back to the Celtics. So once again, we're still having some problems with the feed. So you'll hear the broadcast. Once again, 50-48. Ball game's back on.
Streaky 3 guy. On the take, Bledsoe lowered the dribble. Good passing.
Kyra Lewis for 3. Knocks it down. 53-48.
That's right. The bench has been the difference in this first half. The play of Kyra Lewis Jr., the decision-making, and the shot-making ability of both Kyra Lewis Jr. and Josh Hart.
Okay, 53-48 to score here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So let's go ahead and give you the stats of this game. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up. So, okay, Pelicans shooting 51%. Boston shooting 45, 3-point shooting, 10 of 18 for the Pels. 10 of 16 for the Pels and 8 of 24. So 10 of 16 and 8 of 24. Now, the rebounding aspects, 21-16 in favor of the Pels, even they had 2 on offensive boards, defensive boards, 19-14. Turnovers is 5-4 in favor of Boston. The points off for turnovers 11-5 in favor of the Pels. So I'm glad to see the Pels leading in the points off for turnovers. So 11-5. Now fast break points 11-2, and also points in the paint 18-16 in favor of the Pels. So that is in the game tonight. So 53-48 to score, 3:28 remaining in the first quarter. So let's give you a box score update. Zion shooting 3 of 8. Ingram 3 of 8. Bledsoe 2 of 3. He's also 2 of 3 3-point range. Walker 2 of 6, but he's 0 of 3 from 3-point range. Let's see. Jackson Hayes has 2. Kyra Lewis is hitting 3 out of 3. Also, Josh Hart is also 3 of 4. So Josh Hart tonight has 15 points, and also Kyra Lewis is also hitting threes in this game. So 53-48 to score. Okay, scoreboard update. Memphis down 20-15. Dallas on top 31-20. That is in the so 31-20. So that's in the game tonight. Let's go to the other scores. Indiana on top 74-73. Brooklyn on top 54-45. And New York on top 37-32. And also Detroit on top 26-21. So we'll return.
500,000 students reach their college dreams. This $1 million donation is going to help even more students from right here train themselves for the future. So, guys, truly a wonderful gesture on the part of Ms. Gail Benson.
Yeah, big thank you, Jess.
I mean, Gail Benson, look, I tell you what, look, that lady is doing a lot for the city here in the New Orleans area. So, ball goes back to the Jason Tatum will pass it. And let's see who gets it. Fournier will try to attempt the 3, and he won't. It's too short. Ball goes back to the Pels. Pels still lead 53-48. Ingram will. So the ball will go back to the Pels. Still 53-48. Ball goes back. Let's see if the Pels can get something going here. They'll pass it to Ingram. Ingram will try to pass it down low to Zion. He does get the basket. 55-48. So Zion gets the basket.
And he does a great job of once he catches his basketball, of playing through the contact, that dribble right there, of putting himself in a better position to finish. That's a strong move.
Yeah, Williams got him on one side. Kemba got him on the other side. They had options. And I'm glad they let him play through.
Okay, the first free throw is up, and it is good. So that 3-point play is good. So it's 56-48. So 10 points for Zion, 4 of 9 shooting.
15 for Josh Hart. And Kyra's close.
And it'll be a basket. So that's going to be Walker getting the basket.
He plays hard every night.
I tell you what, he is a big shot taker and a big shot maker all the way back since college.
That's his second personal, third team foul.
I'm not just a fan of Kemba Walker, the basketball player.
So Kemba Walker will attempt this
And you mentioned
3-point play.
2011 NCAA.
And that free throw was good.
The most outstanding player in the Final Four. And I've always said it when he was in Charlotte, Dave, before you joined us.
So 56-51.
His enjoyment of the game.
Bledsoe
Point lead for the Bells.
will pass it down to Ingram. Back to Walker. Walker will knock it down. 59-51. So Walker 7, 5 boards and 3 of 7 shooting. 59-51. Marcus Smart will go to the rack and knocks it down. So it's 59-53. So under 2 minutes remaining. Bledsoe will pass it to Walker. Now Ingram. It's going to be a blocking foul, so it looks like.
See Robert Williams out there in the corner with, I believe it's Eric Bledsoe. That's your time to attack.
No shot block.
You can see Robert Williams to his left. There's no one there.
Yeah, you can see his feet, the heels were still on the restraining arc. So a couple of free throws coming up and a good attack by Brandon Ingram.
So Brandon Ingram, that was a perfect.
First half of basketball.
Brandon, by the way, has 4 assists. And that's big.
A perfect pursuit to the basket, so 59-53.
He's going to be triple-double neighborhood down the road.
And that's going to be a part of Brandon Ingram's growth.
Free throw is up and good.
We all know he can score.
Makes it
we all know he can rebound the
6
basketball, but getting himself
60-53, so 60-53.
fingerprints are on every statistical category.
Second free throw coming up.
He has that skill set.
And it is
Doesn't get the roll. Stephen Affery.
no good. So once again, 60-53 is the score.
They're 6 of 8 in the second quarter on their threes. Good driving. Kemba Walker.
So Kemba Walker knocks down a 3, makes it 60 to so 60-55 after the J by Kemba Walker. So it makes it
Is it going to be over and back? Yep, turnover.
See, this is what I mean.
it's gonna be a turnover.
When a guy that gets double teamed, you can't be indecisive in your cuts. There should be something clear cut on where guys are supposed to go. If you're Nikhil, you have to get in Zion's range, in his sight line, because basically you're spacing away and you're allowing 3 guys to guard.
3-point shot is no good by Boston. Goes back to the Pels. 60-55 is your lead. Steven Adams would get the basket. Makes it 62-55. So 62-55. Pels lead just under a minute remaining here in the second quarter. Jason Tatum, no good. Missed shot. Ball goes back to the Pels. Bledsoe misses the 3. So nice box out by Marcus Smart on the
Tatum. Williams in the score.
so they'll pass it.
Steven Adams gets over there.
And nope, this shot ball goes back to the Pels. Pels still lead 62-55.
Going to play for the final shot, though, with the game clock, shot clock separated by less than 3 seconds.
So it's a 3-second difference on the game clock and the shot clock.
8 on the shot clock against Fournier.
So 4 on the shot clock.
He'll stay with it.
Zion Williamson gets it. 4.1. Let's see if they can get a shot off before the end of the quarter, and they don't. 64-55 here at halftime.
Big bench scoring 26 of the 64. Josh Hart, our catalyst off the bench. And a real solid beginning. Pels by 9 at the break.
So Pels by 9 points, 64-55 at halftime. I'm going to be honest with you. This was one of the best quarters we have ever had, bar none. So, look, I'm glad to see Pelicans right now preserving those leads and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and go over some stats. We'll go over the game stats and also go over the second quarter stats. Let me go over to my screen. Okay, let's give you those numbers. Okay, Pels shooting 53%, Boston shooting 44%, 3-point shooting, Pels shooting 11 out of 18, so nice night on 3-point shots. Boston shooting 28%, that's only 8 3-point shots in the game. Free throw shooting, both teams shooting 7 free throws apiece. Rebounding aspects, Pels lead 26-18, 3-2 on offensive boards, 23-16 on the defensive boards. Now assists, Pelicans lead 17-12, so that's 17 assists on 23 shots. That's in the game. Turnovers, Pelicans and Celtics even at 5. Once again, points off of turnovers 11-5. And fast break points, Pelicans lead 13-2. They also lead 24-20 on the paint point. So you score 64-55 at halftime. So let's give you the box scores from tonight's game. Box score, Zion Williamson with 12. He's shooting 5 of 11. Ingram with 11. He's shooting 3 of 8. Adams has 2. He's 1 of 1. Also, Bledsoe 2 of 4. He has 8 points. Walker with 7. He's 1 of 4 from 3-point range and 3 of 7 from the floor. So that's in the game. Hayes has 2. Hart has 9. Hart has 15, and Lewis has 9 in the game. So Hart with 15 and Lewis with 9 in the ball game. Now for Boston, Williams was 0. He's 0 for 2. That's one of Tatum with 18 points. He's shooting 6 of 10. Robert Williams with 4. Kemba Walker with 12. Smart with 4. Wagner with 1 off the bench. Naismith went 0 for 1. And Cornette went 4 for 6 in the game. And Pritchard had 6 points in the game for the Boston Celtics. So your score is 64-55 at halftime. We'll switch over to quarter number 2 stats. We'll give you those quarter 2 stats in just a second. Let me get those stats up on my screen. We'll scroll it in. Okay, the stats are on my screen. Okay, the stats, second quarter stats, Pelicans shooting 53%, that's 12 of 22. Boston shooting 11 of 25 for about 44%. Boston shooting 66% from the 2-point shots, and Pelicans shooting 46%. Now, 3-point shooting, Pels right now is 6 of 9 for about 66%. So that's good. Knocking down 6 out of 9 in the second quarter. So free throws, Pelicans at 66, Boston at 75. Rebounding aspects even at 2 on offensive boards. Defensive boards, Pelicans lead 12-9. And total boards, Pelicans lead 14-11. Now the turnovers, Pelicans had 3-1. So that was kind of a downfall in the second quarter. So once again, your score is 64-55 at halftime here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we are live. So let's go ahead and give you a scoreboard update on some games going on. So I'm going to give you the scoreboard updates as we go. So I'm going to give you a scoreboard update. So we're going to switch back to the ESPN side and give you a full scoreboard update on some NBA games going on. Okay, full scoreboard update, NBA scores. Okay, Pacers on top, 85-82 by 3. Brooklyn on top, 61-52. Miami down 43-36 at halftime. 43-36 at halftime. Also, the Pistons on top, 39-27. That's in the second quarter. Also, Houston on top, 36-27. That's in the second quarter as well. Also, Dallas on top, 37-34. That's in the second quarter. Also, it is the Kings on top, 7-2. That is in the first quarter. Now, the other games will be later. Jazz versus Cavaliers. Bulls versus Warriors. And also Bucks versus Clippers. That'll be later on at 9 o'clock Central. So let's give you an update on the NCAA tournaments. Okay, I'll give you a full scoreboard update on NCAA tournament action. Okay, it is 42-27. Houston on top. That game's going on in the second half. So looks like Houston's has a lead. That's on CBS. Also, the game after that will be Baylor versus Arkansas. So Baylor versus Arkansas. That will be after. So we'll give you another update on some women's games going on. Okay, women's games going on. UConn on top 64-57. That's in the fourth quarter. Also, Arizona taking on Indiana. That's in the Elite Eight tournament. So that's in the Elite Eight tournament for college basketball on the women's side. So, Pelicans leading 64-55 at halftime. We'll have the second half in just a few moments here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So once again, thanks for joining us here. After tonight's game, we'll have post-game coverage. Pelicans, Stan Van Gundy will talk about tonight's game. And so also tomorrow night, we will have LSU baseball. LSU taking on South Alabama. That game will be on SEC Network Plus. We will have the game audio feed from there. LSU and South Alabama, that'll be on Tuesday night. So we'll have college baseball Tuesday. And then Pelicans on Thursday night. They will take on the Orlando Magic. That will be after 6:30. So we will have the game for you. So thanks for joining us. Okay, let's give you NHL scoreboard update. Okay, NHL scoreboard update. Buffalo on top. Buffalo on top 3-0. Pittsburgh on top 2-1, and Toronto on top 2-1. That is in the games in NHL hockey. So that's we'll have the second half for you in just a second. 64-55 at halftime here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
In particular, Josh Hart and Kyra Lewis.
Well, Josh Hart, the bench as a whole was fantastic. And when you're playing 3 games in 4 nights, that makes the bench that much more important. But these two guys, Josh Hart, I felt like set the tone. Brandon Ingram came out early and knocked down a couple shots, but Josh Hart had his back. Giving it, bringing to the game what he brings to the game. And this young man right here is growing every single game. At first, it was about his speed. Now, once you start respecting his speed, now he is knocking down that shot with consistency and regularity.
And then when you have 17 assists, it's across the board. And we've talked about Kyra. Kyra's got 4 assists. Brandon's got 5 assists, which that may be the healthiest number of all.
Right, and you talk about Brandon Ingram's with 5 assists. Those were the last 5 buckets by the Pelicans. All 5 of them came from Brandon Ingram. And I talked about constantly being able to impact this game outside the scoring column. Brandon Ingram had triple-double potential on a night-to-night basis. It's nice to see him touch the scoring column. Touch all the areas outside of the scoring column as well.
Really good balance across the board for the Pels with 3 double figures already, and Kyra's not too far behind with 9. We get ready for the second 24 minutes in Boston.
Okay, the second half will begin in just a few moments here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Once again, we're on a commercial break, so 64-55 is your score. So we're still at a commercial break. So if you want to come in video chat or chat with us, you can do that via Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Chat rooms. Also, if you want to come in video chat, that will be highly optional for anybody. So we will begin the second half in just moments away. So your score is 64-55. Other games going on. Let's at the end of third is Washington on top 95-92. Brooklyn still at halftime. So let's give you an update on Detroit, and I'm gonna put the game cast on the screen. It's 44-27. Detroit on top of Toronto. That game's going on in the second quarter, and I'll give you an update on Sacramento and San Antonio 16-12. Full timeout for the Spurs. So full timeout. 16-12 is the lead over there. Okay, we'll give an update on Houston and Memphis. 42-33 is your score out in Houston tonight. So that is once again 43-32. They're in a full timeout as well. So once again, your score is 64-55. Second quarter will begin. Second half will begin in just a few moments.
Largest lead of the contest so far, 9 points. Thanks in large part to the play of the bench, Josh Hart and Kyra Lewis Jr. Hi, everybody. Time now for some notes from your Smoothie King conversation. I had a chance to visit with Fred Vincent, and he credits Josh and Kyra's hot starts tonight to their mental outlook going into the game. Pre-game, they talked about how the Celtics would likely double Zion and BI, and that Josh and Kyra had to be ready to take advantage, and indeed they have. Hart, your leading scorer for the Pelicans so far with 15, and Kyra Lewis adding 9, a perfect 3 for 3 from three-point land. Now, the key going forward, what was the discussion in the locker room at halftime? Well, it's for the guys to continue to stay ready if the Celtics continue to double Z and BI, but also to be mentally sharp to share the ball. The Pelicans are winning the assist battle.
So the ball goes back to the Celtics here in the second half. So the second half begins. 64-55. They will try to pass it. Left corner 3 is no good. Ball goes back. Steven Adams will get the defensive board. Ball goes back to the Pels. They will pass it over to Zion, and the shot is no good. So the ball goes back to the Celtics. And the shot is good. So Celtics cut the lead to 64-57. So 64-57 is your score. Zion go back to the Boston Celtics.
I don't know if this is Zion going too early or the fact that he didn't know if Stevens going to set that screen, because if he knows, then he has to wait.
Yeah, you can see him. Never got there.
Right.
So it goes back on the Pels' 7th turnover of the game. Foul is going to be called a half hour away as Tatum hits the deck.
So it's going to be a foul. Tatum did hit the deck. Let's see who it's on.
You can understand the frustration. Opening minute of the second half. This is a team that was really good last year at the defensive end of the floor. They were 4th in defensive efficiency last year. Timeout is called by the Pels.
So it's full timeout called by the Pels. 64-55.
500 teams so far.
Drink it in.
Okay, 64-55 to score. Still here in the third quarter. So once again, off to a bad start. I mean, they had some kind of call, a foul, or something. So, once again, they have to overcome the double teams of Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics covering BI and so I'll be honest with you, if they can overcome that situation, that would help us in the long run. So still 64-55 here in the third quarter. We're waiting for the fees to return. So commercial break right now, 64-55. So we got to switch it back out. 11:03 remaining. 64-57, excuse me. 64-57, not 64-55. 64-57. So waiting for the feed to return.
When you see a successful challenge, but great call by Stan Van Gundy right in front of the Pels bench. And great call because it would have been the third foul on Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
And if you see, he just trips on Grant Williams' foot. That's it. He just fell on his foot.
Goes right through his shin. Right
But
there.
and you said it, though. Like, what the official saw was Jason Tatum fall, and it was the furthest official away from the play that actually made that call.
He was on the baseline on the opposite side of the basket.
Right. And the reason that Coach Van Gundy chose to use that challenge then is because that would have been Brandon Ingram's third foul.
So Stan didn't want to use the challenge. That's obvious. It's too early in the game.
Right.
A game that's most likely going to be close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the official. The three working are Josh Tibbett, Mitchell Irvin, and C.J. Washington. So Pels do not lose a timeout, and Brandon Ingram doesn't get
So the ball goes back to the Celtics, still 64-57. Tatum will pass it.
Shot clock down. Smart knows it.
Smart will try to attempt the shot, and
Big heel.
only 2.5 seconds remaining
Reach and know the clock too.
on the shot clock.
Here's my thing. And again, I told you, this is the most confusing to me. Think about how many, that's definitely a foul. How many of these plays that we've seen like this? Because Nikhil definitely fouled. But what's the difference between that and guys doing this and actually
Free throw is up and good.
Right. Consistency is all you're looking for.
64.
So 3 free throws coming up for
58.
former Oklahoma State Cowboy.
Second free throw is up. It is good.
That's 13 a game.
64-59.
Once again, this
He will
year.
have a third attempt.
But he's one of those guys where the stats would never,
Right.
talk about his true.
That third attempt is good. 64-60. Back to a 4-point game. 64-60.
And it's a 4-point. And Nikhil just picked up his third foul. Good drop inside.
And that shot is good.
It's his 6th assist.
So Adams gets his basket 66-60. Back to a 6-point game.
So Brandon's got Tatum now. And he's holding him off the ball.
Yeah.
Now he gets his third foul.
That's going to be a third foul on Brandon Ingram.
See, Boston, this is what he said earlier. When they ice it or they blew it, if Steven dives, he's a threat. That's what we were talking about in the first quarter.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum will go for a 3, and he does. Knocks it down. Cuts the lead 64-63. So 64-6. Walker. So Walker with that 3. So it was Tatum And the shot is good. So Zion Williamson makes it 68-63. So Tatum got the assist. Walker got the 3. So Williams knocks it down. So 68-66. Lead cut down. 68-66.
These are the turnovers, especially on the road. Did an excellent job in the first half of valuing and taking care of the basketball.
The ball. Pelicans 8 turnovers to 5 for the Celtics. So 8 turnovers for the Pels, 5 for the Celtics, and that shot is good. So it ties the game to 68. So it's Williams with the basket, 68-68. Still tied up. Zion will go to the lane and won't get it. Ball goes back to the Celtics. So they'll pass it. Tatum will get the easy basket, makes it 70-68. Boston on top. So 70-68. Tatum 20 points. Walker will pass it to Ingram. They'll pass it over to Walker. Walker will try to get the basket and does. So it ties the game at 70. So Smart, almost a turnover. And Kemba Walker will go from the back door, makes the basket. So it makes it 72-70. So 72-70 is the score. They'll pass it. Bledsoe. Pass it down to Hart. And that is going to be a basket. Brandon Ingram makes it 72-72. So Brandon Ingram goes to the cup. So 72-72.
It's not like he's taken a ton of shots so far.
Tatum, no good. Ball goes back to the
So one and done. It's a good matchup. Two great young wings.
that's going to be Ingram again. No good. Missed shot. Ball goes back to the Boston Celtics. 72-72.
Walk into position, whatever it takes. And is it Bledsoe? Yeah. He's got the
It's going to be a foul on Bledsoe.
I tell you, people would never understand how difficult it is to guard an offense that never stops moving. You can see they have the Pelicans defense on their heels, these guards, and Jason Tatum, because they never stop moving. Kemba Walker gives that ball up. You said multiple screens. He gives it up. Then he doesn't stop. Then he comes off another double string by Grant Williams and Robert Williams.
second foul on Eric Bledsoe.
There'll be a second foul. Bledsoe gets ball goes back to the Celtics. Tied up, and the ball goes back to the Pels with a tie up. And McKill Walker gets the basket. Makes it 74-72. So 74-72 Pels lead. So by 2.
He's been really good in guarding that pick and roll.
Marcus Smart.
That's going to be Marcus.
Yes.
Shot clock down and moving guard Williams.
Yes.
And that's going to be Williams
And that's what happens when
getting
you
the triple.
pursue over top of these screens and chase guys. It's hard to do, and it takes a lot of energy and effort, but eventually it's worth it.
So it's a turnover, so he will not get the 3-point basket. So turnover. Ball goes back to the Pels. Walker.
Nikhil gets there, little floater.
And no
A
good.
little short.
So the ball goes back to the Celtics.
Pels by 2. Kemba Walker.
Kemba Walker will pass it to Jason Tatum.
So that he can get back to his own.
You got it. Brandon Ingram got the off arm. And a shot to the chops.
So it's going to be a shot.
That left arm came up in there. was trying to peel away, and the left arm came up.
Look like he's smiling. Yeah, that was a blatant shot right there. That was a blatant fucking shot right there. They should have called that fucking foul
And it was above the shoulders.
on Jason Tatum.
You don't think it's intentional, but as I mentioned, it's fun for us to watch these two. These are two of the best. They're both 23. Right. These are two of the best wings in the NBA now.
So the play is under review. So let's see if
Him on the sideline with 13 and 7 assists already. That's a shiner.
Yeah. Well, what do you think they're going to give this one? I'm done guessing. I'm done guessing. So I mean, you know what? I will easily take a back seat to your expertise here.
Well, put it this way: I had a good weekend in the fairgrounds.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it's a flagrant one because it's above the
that
shoulders.
should be a flagrant one. It should be a goddamn flagrant
Above the
one.
shoulders. It's kinda
They don't call that. That's a huge disservice to this team.
I'm not even guessing.
Well, you can see it's starting that well. It's starting to develop below his eye.
Yeah.
It's funny, we talk about Kyra. You and I talked about it right before we came back on air after halftime. I said, we talk about all these young guys, and we got to remember that Brandon Ingram's only 23.
Well, it's easy to lose sight of that because of how long he's been in the league,
Right.
but he's only 23 years old.
It's his 5th season, but he plays like a vet.
And you said it, anytime you get an opportunity to watch two guys, and they're guarding each other. That's what I like about it. It's not like you're watching two.
So we're waiting for the play to we're waiting for the call to come in. Might be a flagrant one. I think it is a flagrant one because he hit him right in his face. That was a flagrant one.
And both guys with length that are about 6'8", 6'9".
It worries you that this is taking so long.
You would have to think it's taking long because they're thinking about a total ejection, right?
Right. They may be. That's the thing. It sounds, yeah, you may be joking, but
Right.
there's a reason that it's taking this long.
Yep.
That was a blatant hit to his face.
You would think it's at least one, what we've seen in the past.
I'll review the high elbow to the face is being ruled a flagrant foul, penalty one. There will be 2 shots.
That's a penalty. Yep.
The New Orleans ball on the side, 24 on the shot clock.
So that's a good flagrant one. So it's a flagrant one foul.
They were ready to start the second half. You can see the ball in the man movement by Boston.
Yeah, that was a blatant fucking hit right there. That was a blatant hit right there by Jason Tatum. Sure, he's a good wing guy for Boston. Just the same thing with Brandon Ingram. He's a good wing for the New Orleans Pelicans.
So now Brandon Ingram going to the free throw line for the Pels.
Brandon Ingram at the line with 2 shots.
2 shots coming in, so you will shoot 2.
Super impressive.
So 74-72. The first one is up, and it is good. Makes it 75-72.
38% on his threes.
The efficiency.
It's incredible. And they're going to be nights, and that was the case for him.
Second free throw is up, and it is good. Rolls in, 76-72.
He's 23 years old.
But there's also going to be nights like the previous night in Denver, that Sunday night. And this is what I like about what he's doing tonight. Right. What I like about what he's doing tonight is he's not scoring a ton, but he's still impacting the game.
So Zion will get the ball.
Tatum just took his first break of the second half.
Zion will try to go to lane,
It blocked away. Stays with the
and the basket is good.
Credit, though, he's on top of the basketball on the first one. So Zion
Makes it 78-72. So an 8-0 run for the Pels here in the third quarter.
You like the way they responded. 3-ball.
3-point shot is no good.
No. And it'll be saved by Zion. Got in front. Marcus Smart. Bledsoe on the trail.
Brandon Ingram for 3. No good. Easy basket is good. Zion gets the basket. So it's 80-72. Pels on top. So 80-72. Ball goes back to the Celtics. So let's see if they can try to get a basket, and they do. So that's going to be Smart getting the baskets, 80-74. So 80-74. Pels on top. Walker gonna be a foul.
Here's the first one. It's a little crowded in there, but you said it. Every Fournier got his hands on the ball, and if Zion gets his hands back on that ball, it's a wrap. Velcro hands. I got it. It's all mine.
And a break for the Pels on that one Fournier, because a lot of times they'll call that a jump ball.
Right.
18 points for boys.
And Brandon Ingram will bring it in. Pels shooting 54%.
So Brandon Ingram will.
Triples, 11 of 19.
Let's see if the Pels can
First time of the second half.
and the ball is taken away by Boston, and that is going to be an easy basket. So it makes it 80-76. So Pritchett knocks down the basket.
Inside of 5, down to a 4-point lead. And it's going to be Robert Williams.
So it's going to be Robert Williams getting the foul.
Steven doesn't. Steven's not a flopper. Steven in the deck.
See, I want to see if they actually call it on Kimber.
Right.
Because that's what I said. They could have called it on either one of them there.
They were simultaneous. Yeah, the body up front with Kimbo, and then off the ball, Robert Williams with Steven Adams.
So that's going to be a foul on
So who was the foul on?
Fouls on Robert Williams.
So Robert Williams gets the foul.
That's his 4th.
Full personal foul on him. Ball goes back to Pels. So Walker inbounds the ball. That's passed over to Ingram.
Up against Fournier. Shot clock coming down. And he lost the handle. You know where Pritchard was.
And the ball goes back to the Pels. Let's see. That's going to be a tie-up. So it's a tie-up.
On the shot clock.
So we'll have to tip it off again.
Turnovers have popped up a little bit here in the second half of the Pels.
Hey, you know what? No matter what happens, I appreciate that hustle. And if I'm a teammate of Brandon Ingram, I appreciate a guy that's an NBA All-Star willing to do this and go to the ground.
Right.
That's called an investment in winning.
Yep.
That's my example.
That's right. So if you're on that bench, or if you're
Okay, 0.3 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 4:31 remaining in the
And by the way, they changed that foul.
third quarter. It's 80-76.
It's now the third on Kemba.
Um,
I'm not touching it.
The reps.
Pels can't catch it and shoot anyway.
No, the ball goes back.
Why did he do that? Really?
That was the stupidest play I have ever seen. What the hell?
Just gave the Pels a gift.
That is the stupidest play I've ever seen with Boston. So 80-76. The ball will go back to the Pels on it.
So he just set it up there.
Well, I guess it would have. Because there was 0.3 seconds on the shot clock.
And I'll tell you something. If they give the ball to the Pels and they did, that's a break.
That's a good break.
Nikhil setting it up for
Bledsoe will hit the three. No good left side. Ingram from the right, and he knocks it down. Makes it 83-76. So 3-point shot after the Boston Celtics made a big foul up on the tip-off. Marcus Smart misses. Ball goes back to the 3 minutes and 55 seconds remaining. So Brandon Ingram, one on Ingram. That's Smart. Now kill for three, no good. The Celtics still leading 83. Pelicans lead 83-76. Let's see what happens here. So a 7-point game. Kemba Walker for three, no good. So it's going to be a second chance opportunity for Boston. And they throw it out of bounds. Ball goes back to the
Now you have to take advantage of Boston struggling to string together offensive possessions, good offensive possessions, with no Jason Tatum in the game.
I was going to say, when Tatum's on the bench, you better score.
Yes.
You better capitalize. Now, Kyra Lewis is in for the first time of the
So
second.
Kyra Lewis comes in. Walker looks like he goes to the bench.
Points, 4 assists, triples. He hit all 3 of us, and he was 3 or 4 overall from the field. And the only miss was a little floater, and it was right on line but long.
So ball goes back to the Pels. Pels.
Takes over in the back.
7-6.
Backdoor run, Brandon.
Backdoor shot is good by Brandon Ingram. Makes it 85-76. So nice little backdoor shot by Brandon Ingram.
By not allowing him to use that screen, you know what you do? You backdoor and you make a pay. Good read by Jackson, better read by DI.
So excellent shot. So 85-76 is the score. We have to mute commercial break. 85-76 is the score. So full timeout. Let's give you the stats on the screen. Okay, Pelicans right now shooting 53%, 45 for the Celtics. 3-point shooting. Pels are at 12 of 22. Boston at 10 of 33 for about 30%. Also, free throw shooting. Pels are at 76%, 10 of 13. Boston 69% on the free throws. Rebounds. Pelicans lead 32. Let's see, 32. Let's give me those numbers. 32-28. Offensive rebounds. Boston leads 7-6. Defensive rebounds 26-21. Assists. Pelicans lead 24-16. Points off of turnovers. Pelicans getting 22 points off of turnovers. That's 10 turnovers for Boston. So Pelicans getting 22. Boston getting only 12. Fast break points. Pelicans lead 15-6. And also points in the paint, Pelicans lead 40-32 here in the third quarter. Your score is 85-76. Updates on games going on in the NBA. Washington leading 117-116. Brooklyn leading 85-77. Miami down 64-58. That's in the third quarter. Also, Detroit leading 66-50 at halftime. Also, Houston tied up at 57 at halftime. Dallas on top, 71-53 at halftime. 71-63 at halftime. Sacramento leading 42-41. Utah leading 3-0. So that's games going on. So let's get back to coverage.
A 1-year minimum. LaMarcus Aldridge joining the gang in Brooklyn.
So LaMarcus Aldridge going to Brooklyn. So that's a good combination for Brooklyn's offensive lineup. Al Horford wasn't active for the remaining of the season, so I don't know why they not using Al Horford. So 85-76 the score here in the third quarter, 3:07 remaining.
$53 million and 2 years left on the current agreement. On the run.
So they'll pass it.
Nesmith.
Let's see, they'll pass it down. Cornette. And they'll pass it low, and they make the easy basket. So it's 85-78.
It always does.
Brandon Ingram.
So Brandon Ingram,
Yeah, and he has
it looks like he's got one man he has on him, and
Jackson couldn't get to it. Cornette kept it.
shot is no good. Ball goes back to the Celtics. Pritchard no good. Ball goes back to the
Good job by Jackson.
Pels.
To force a real tough shot for Peyton Pritchard.
Ingram will pass it. That's going to go to
But here comes the switch.
Ingram again.
Brandon goes at him. And picked up by
Jackson Hayes.
Now shot clock down on Kyra.
Kyra Lewis will pass it.
Picking it up to Josh.
Josh Hart, no good. So the ball goes back to the Celtics, still leading 85-78 Pels. And no basket there for the Celtics. That was a missed shot. Ball goes back to the and the shot is no good. So missed shot by the ball goes back. Kyra Lewis will get the ball. Kyra Lewis will pass it to Bledsoe. Bledsoe will pass it to Ingram. It's going to be Brandon Ingram going to the free throw line.
Let's slow it down, get the ball where we want to.
Phoenix Dan Van Gundy appreciates his young guard, 19-year-old, saying that we need a set.
That's right.
A half-court set.
Again, B.I. knows that he has a mismatch. He knows that he has a mismatch on 48, that he can get to his spot and just elevate.
So the Pels have Brandon going to the line trying to.
So free throw is coming up for Brandon Ingram.
Brandon's got 20.
So the first free throw is up. And it's good, so it's 86-78. So 86-78.
That's one of the things you really respect about this and appreciate about this Pelicans. The point guard.
Second free throw coming up, and it is no good. So still 86-78, 10 to 15 for the Pels. 10 to 13. Excuse for the Celtics. And that shot is good. So it's Naismith. So 86-81, 3-point shot.
In his 2 years there, 15% of his threes. Step back, Brandon.
So Brandon Ingram misses. Ball goes back to the Pels. So just under a minute remaining. Tatum will try to go to the lane. It's going to be a foul, so I think it's going to be on Hayes.
I don't really know if he had the basketball or not.
Well, I think he had it when he decided he was going to change. Okay, stops right there. And his back foot was
See, and then right when it got taken away, he picked his foot up, but he never had the ball. I'm with you, Jackson. I feel you.
Yeah.
So it'll come into the side.
Got a ball. Once again, no shooting foul. Ball goes back to the Celtics. Tatum, no good. Ball goes back to the Kyra will try to get it. And Zion will get the ball. So leading 86-81. So let's see if the Zion can get to the lane, and does. So 86, 88, 81, 88, 81.
If the people out there can hear with that microphone on the that's excellent D by Kyra Lewis.
He's got Nikhil Asborn, 3 ball. Just short.
And just short. So once again, 88, 81.
Once Zion finished that ball at the rim. But basically, he saying in different terms, you know what, you are too small to guard me inside this restricted area.
So that was a good shot by Zion. I'm going to tell you, he will get to that lane. So 88-81 at the end of 3. So we're muting again, commercial break. They will return in just a few moments. Fox Sports New Orleans here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So let's give you the third quarter stats. I'm going to pull the third quarter stats up, and we'll give you those third quarter stats as we go. Okay, third quarter stats. I'm pulling them up right now. Okay, third quarter stats as follow. Pelicans shooting 43%, 10 of 23. Also, Boston shooting 43%. So both teams shooting 10 shots in the third quarter. Pelicans shooting 50%. That's 9 of 18. Boston shooting 7 of 16, 43%. Now, three-point shooting, Pelicans 1 of 5 in the third quarter. That's good for 20%. Boston 3 of 7, 42% in the game. Also, the rebounding aspects. Boston leads 5-4 on offensive boards, 10-7 on defensive boards. They also lead 15-11 on the totals. Now, turnovers 5-3 in favor of the Boston Celtics in the third quarter. So once again, your score is 88-81. So 88-81. So we'll give you the points in the paint. Okay, points in the paint right now. Pelicans leading 42-34. They also lead 15-6 on the fast break points. Now the points off of turnovers is 19-12, so 19-12 in favor of the Pelicans. So the 12 came off the Pelicans turnovers, and 19 came off the Boston turnovers for the Pels. So once again, your score is 88-81. So we're back for fourth quarter action.
And we're talking about it. They had 17 to break. They are thinking about what's best for the good of the team, and that's healthy. Right.
So ball goes back to the Pels, still leading 88-81. We start off the third quarter, 11:49 remaining. Shot is rolls in, and it's good. So Zion gets the basket, makes it 90-81. Pelicans lead 22 points, 5 boards instead of 19 for him. And the shot is going to be no good. Left corner 3 for so Evan Fournier is going to be called for a foul. So Zion
also said, the European guys, they break up transition all the time. Right. They grab guys, you're not getting this on me. Yep. And that was a smart play because it was going to Josh Hart up ahead.
So Zion will inbound the ball after Evan Fournier held him. Ball goes back. Zion will get it. Zion will try to go to the lane and does get the basket. So Zion makes it 92-81. Points in the paint, 46-34 in favor of the Pels in the here in the fourth quarter. They'll pass it. And then Boston will get turn over the ball. Pelicans will get the possession.
To the Jackson Hayes we are seeing right now, making multiple efforts defensively, it's night and day. Again, it's the same thing they did against Dallas. Right. You run it until they stop it. Cornette does not have the foot speed or strength to contend with Zion Williamson, especially when he's heading downhill. And back to Jackson. I like the he's playing with now.
That's no comparison. 92-81, Pels lead. The ball's going to go back to the
and he has to wait for Jackson to get set.
Yeah, and you saw Zion just put his hand to his chest like mine.
You can see him still moving.
Yeah, he went too fast. I think he did. He went way too fast on that play.
If you want to keep Cornette in the game, we want to continue to attack him.
So 92-81, ball goes back to Boston. They'll pass it. And the mid-range shot by the Celtics. Jackson Hayes will get the ball after the missed mid-range shot by the Celtics. Jackson Hayes will not get the 3. That's going to be a charge. Jackson Hayes will get the charge.
That call was being made right now.
Shot out of the cannon.
No, that was a flop. That was a freaking flop. They did that just intentionally. That's what they did. They did that absolutely intentionally. That shot is good, so it's 92-83. So 13 for him. So still 92-83. So it looks like they'll pass it to Walker. Pass it to Kyra Lewis. No good. So missed shot by Kyra Lewis, going back to the Celtics.
You can't allow Marcus Smart, the same guy.
And that shot is going to be a foul.
It's a great pass by Marcus Smart, recognizing that double team and getting rid of the ball.
So Josh Hart will get the foul.
See, he felt that double team. Jackson was coming over on the double team. Good rotation by Nikhil. And then good foul by Josh, not giving Robert Williams another time to tip that ball back in.
Let's see if they give him two. They should. And he's only a 65% free throw shooter. 9.5 to play. There's going to be a run. We know that. You worry about Fournier in his debut as a Celtic. He's off the bench and he's 0 for 8 and 0 for 4 on his
The free throw is going to be up, and it is good. That makes it 92-84. So the next three games, Orlando, Friday night will be Atlanta. So that'll be Thursday night will be Orlando. Friday will be Atlanta. And that shot is good. 3-point shot is good to kill. Walker gets the three. So 95-84. So 14 points, 7 boards for him. So 95-84. So inside of 9 minutes. Fournier will try to knock down a shot. No good. Ball goes back.
That speed is the difference.
That's what the Roadrunner does. His ability to run that basketball down and create a fast break opportunity. Again, you can't teach speed. You can't teach that. That's God-given.
Yeah, it's not something you pick up in the gym.
No, it is not.
So the Pels will have it at the offensive end.
So 8:43 remaining. Shot. Passes down to Jackson Hayes for the basket. Makes it 97-84. So 97-84. Pels on top. So let's see if they'll attempt a three. No good. And that's going to be off the mark. Josh Hart.
Josh wasn't going to gamble. Pels.
So Williams will try to go to the lane.
Shoots two.
And he will shoot two. So that was almost an M1 right there.
Oh, man. This is a guard. This is a guard in Evan Fournier. Whoa. That in and out is serious. He got Dwight Powell with the last game.
There's going to be 2 shots for Zion Williamson.
20-year-old Zion is going to the free throw line. He's got 24 points, 7 boards, 3 dimes.
So the first one is up, and it is good. I mean, even Rick Carlisle came out the next day and say he was a
Think about what this says. A Shaquille O'Neal type force of nature with
I mean, look, a lot of these coaches noticing Zion. A lot of these coaches in the NBA. 99-84 Pelicans lead. Zion 26, 7 boards and 11 of 20 from the field. So let's see if they can try to. Looks like they'll go for 3. That's going to be an offensive foul.
You get him in the face.
That was a.
Coming over to the sideline like he took the chops. 15-point lead for the Pels, their biggest of the game.
Yes, right.
Elbow to the chin.
So they should take a look at this one as well. Because it's very similar play to the Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum foul.
And let's see if they go over to the sideline. Is it going to be reviewed?
That's going to be a review coming in.
Okay, so you had a great weekend at the track, right?
I'm going 2 for 2 on this.
Okay, so here you go. Where are you going? Where do you take it here?
Well, is that to turn your elbow and then come back with your elbow like that?
Damn.
That's usually a natural basketball move if you're moving forward to the basket.
Okay, so what do we call it?
Flavor 1.
So Joe Myers,
If I could go 1 for 2 at the fairgrounds,
You're good to go.
good.
You're good to go.
So 15-point game. Tom May stands in, head trainer, and Aaron Nelson, they're over there with the Pels, taking care of Zion.
I tell you, it comes a point in your career where you realize, what.
well, I think it's probably going to be a flagrant run. I think it's what it's going to be called. Boston players on the review. We'll wait for the call to come in.
Some of these games, because their impact is huge. It is huge. Jackson Hayes being active defensively, being aware defensively, Kyra's ability to make solid decisions with the basketball and the kill shot-making ability. These guys are huge to not just the future, but right now, the overall success of this team.
Pels, because of the young men you're talking about, they're out shooting 51% to 41%. Pels are also hitting.
They are shooting about 10, 51, 41.
46. Get into the free throw line, doing a lot of things well tonight. And out assisting them 26 to 17. And if they can keep their turnovers to a minimum.
You're exactly right.
If you can play to 14 turnovers a game,
You're going to put yourself in a position to win every basketball game.
right?
That was when I was in Seattle, with Maybe Miller the year he won Coach of the Year.
Upon review, the high elbow going back and making contact to the face of Walker is a flagrant foul, penalty 1.
So it's a flagrant foul, flagrant 1, so another flagrant 1 coming in.
When I was with Coach Nate McMillan, he talked about turnovers. That was his big thing. Boy, he took that square.
Right.
And he said,
Yeah, he took it right into his freaking face right there. That's another blatant call right there. That's another call. I'm glad they're getting these calls in. 2 free throws coming in for Walker. So that was unnecessary what he did. That was absolutely unnecessary what he did.
He's filled up the box tonight, by the way. Nikhil's got 14 and 7 with 3 dimes.
Second free throw is no good. So both of the fouls and foul shots are no good.
Hopefully not tonight. Inside of 8 to play. And Nikhil's really played well. Maybe backcourts play really well. Kyra and Nikhil.
So I'm like what I'm seeing out of this backcourt tonight. And Brandon Ingram will pass it. He will pass it.
Man, it's going to be a trip.
So
Pels will take it. They're in the bonus.
so it's Pels are in the bonus. So it looks like
Bonus this early in the 4th. Attack. Put it on the officials. And get to the free throw line.
that was a foul right there. That was another foul. So free throws coming up for the Pels. Bledsoe goes to the line to shoot 2.
Really think that was a charge?
Well, put it this way. I don't think there's that many people in the building, so it may be coming from the sound effects there.
Free throw is up and it is good. So 184.
I think they're getting the additional help. Aaron Bledsoe makes it 16 as the Pels add to their large.
There wasn't no charge. That was a foul on Boston. Second free throw is no good. Ball goes back to the Celtics. Pelicans lead 184. Just under.
Good help, Aaron Bledsoe. Peyton Pritchard for 3.
So Peyton Pritchard gets the basket, so it makes it 187. So Pritchard 11, 3 or 4 shooting from 3-point range. So Ingram will pass it to Hart. Back to Ingram.
There's the switch of the mismatch.
This will be a switch out.
Here comes the double. It's Tatum.
And Walker will attempt the 3. No good. Missed shot. So offensive rebound by the Pels.
And he'll cast the triple.
And he knocks it down. And as Eric Bledsoe for 3. Makes it 103-87. 14 of 28 for the Pels. 12 of 38 for the Boston Celtics. 50% for the Pels. 32% for the Celtics. And that shot is going to be no good. Ball goes back to Boston. See if they can try to nope, ball goes back.
Now you can take your time. Wait for Brandon Ingram. It was deflected.
Yeah, see that's the thing that you have to recognize when you have to.
Yeah.
And plus your 4-on-5 because your teammates behind the play.
You have to wait. I mean, you have to. I mean, what?
Excellent next pass. See it, trust your teammate, knock it down, Blood.
Yep, you gotta knock it down, Bledsoe. So okay, once again, 103.87, 103.87. I'll be honest with you, look. Tonight's game, I'm very happy with the way this offense has been progressing tonight in this game. So words can't, like I said, all things considered, look, if we can continue 6-18, we still got a while. 6-18 remaining. I mean, look, the Pelicans got to get some significant stops in this quarter. So let's give you the game stats. Game stats on the screen. Okay, 51% for the Pels and 41% for the Celtics. Pelicans shooting 3-point shooting, 14 of 28, 50%. So good night for both sides shooting the ball, both 3-point and field goals. Free throws, Pelicans at 61%. They got to be a lot better getting to that line. That's not good on those free throw shots. Rebounding aspects, Pelicans lead 43-38. Boston leads 10-8, and also defensive rebounds, Pelicans lead 35-28. And the assists, Pelicans lead 27-18. Turnovers is 14-12. So right now, 14-12. Pelicans are getting 20 points off of those 14 turnovers. Boston getting 14 off of those 12 turnovers. Now, the fast break points, 15-6. Pelicans leading 48-34 in the paint. So your score is 103-87, 103-87. We will have that game for you on Thursday, and also we'll have a game for you on Friday. We'll have Atlanta and Orlando. So that'll be this week. Thursday and Friday, so we'll have both games for you here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we'll get back to the game coverage.
Points. His will to win is something that has been widely discussed by his teammates. Veteran Eric Bledsoe says he's never seen a player with a will to win like Zion. That is certainly high praise, guys. And when I asked Zion about
it, he's got a lot. He's got a lot will to win. And I'm glad to see that will to win, that aspect for him. I'm glad to see it. So Boston will get the ball. They'll inbound it. They'll pass it. So that's Tatum. And that's going to be a free throw opportunity for Boston. That's a foul on looks like Adams. I'm trying to see. Yep, that is Adams getting the foul.
When you're playing out at the park against other grown men.
So free throws for Jason Tatum. That first one is up, and it is good. Makes it 103-88.
Spoiling us with his consistency. Our Louisiana Lottery Powerball update.
Second free throw coming up.
I gotta check my tickets.
And it is good.
Your tickets. Your tickets.
We're a team, man. We gotta stick together.
Yep.
We'll celebrate.
You can see what Boston is doing now. They're going to zone because they're having.
So let's see. Looks like the zone. So Brandon Ingram will pass it to Bledsoe. Back to Walker. And a three! Knocks it down! 106-89. So Pelicans lead 106-89. 7 boards for Walker.
That is a long run to try and contest. Excellent shot by Nikhil.
It'll be Kemba.
Kemba Walker, no good, miss.
So Stephen,
Yeah, loose ball foul.
So it's going to be a loose ball foul with Steven Adams again.
By the way, Nikhil's got 17 coming off a 20-point game in the win at home.
you can see Kemba Walker fall, and that is a long run right there. When Nikhil gets his feet set, and when he's shooting that ball with confidence the way he is now, you can chalk that up.
Well, and also, Nikhil's a legit 6'6", and they list Kemba at 6 feet, meaning not quite. Taken away almost. Steven Adams
Almost taken away. The Pelicans had an opportunity to get a turnover.
Playing a 17-point lead.
Tatum will pass it.
You said it. Great defense.
And nice little putback. It's 106-91. So Tatum gets the tip in.
An alert play.
There you go.
You got Brandon Ingram at the free throw line.
So Brandon Ingram will go to the line. So Smart will be called for the foul.
Take mental data throughout the course of the game as far as how they are guarding you.
Now, watch the ribbon around the basket.
You look good to me.
Yeah, it went through. That's all I'll say. It went through. And by the way, it could have been gone.
So Ingram will have two free throws coming up. And the first one is up. And it is no good. So they missed the first one. You'll get a second opportunity. The 106-91. Second free throw coming up. And it is good. So 107-91 is the score. 107-91.
He was waiting for help, wasn't he?
Gotta finish.
So under 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter.
This is how you grow.
So let's see if the Pels can.
It'll be
Marcus Smart will try to knock down a shot. Nope, missed shot. Ball goes back to the Pels. Brandon Ingram will not get the shot. And that's no good. Ball goes back to the Celtics. Tatum will knock it down. So 107-94. So Tatum has 27, 8 boards, and 9 of 20 from the floor.
Down to a 13-point game with 4+ to play. Jason Tatum up to 27 on this fourth triple. Sharing it, Bledsoe.
So Bledsoe will knock it down. 110-94. So 110-94. Eric Bledsoe 13 for 7 from 3-point range. So he's knocking down his threes tonight. Absolutely getting 4 threes. Steven Adams. So the Pels will get the ball. So good defensive play by Steven Adams. Not to touch the ball.
Good job of Kemba with the blow by. Steven staying vertical and going to get it.
Right. And knocked out by Tatum, although it could have been deflected. Is it going to be a challenge for Brad Stevens now?
Well, it would, right now, at this time of the game, it would definitely warrant it.
They are challenging the call on the floor with the Pels up by 16.
So Pels up by 16, 110-94, 110-94. I'll be honest with you. Look, that should be the Pelicans ball. Steven Adams did not touch it. It did went out of bounds. So the ball will be in the Pelicans' possession when we come back. 110-94 is your score. So let's give you box score performances for Pelicans. Zion with 26. He's hitting up 11 of 20 shots. Brandon Ingram, 22 points. He's hitting 6 of 16 shots, 3 of 5 from 3-point range. Eric Bledsoe, 4 of 7. He has 13 points. Nikhil Walker with 17. He's hitting 7 of 15 shots. Let's see. Kyra Lewis with 9 and Hart with 15 in the game. So Kyra Lewis with 9 and 15 for Josh Hart in the ball game. So that's the Pelicans box score performers tonight. Adams with 4. Adams right now with 4. He's only has 4 rebounds. He's only 2 of 2 shooting. Now, Pelicans are shooting 51%, 40 of 77. Boston shooting 41%. 3-point shooting, Pelicans hitting 16 threes tonight. Boston only 13 threes. Free throw shooting, Pelicans are 14 to 23. Boston 13 to 17. Rebounding aspects, Pelicans lead 44-40 on total boards. On defensive boards, they trail 11 to 8. And on offensive boards, 11-8. And defensive boards, 36-29. Now the assists is 29-18. Turnovers is 14-12. So we'll get back to game coverage. 110-94. Once again, after tonight's game, post-game coverage, we'll have Stan Van Gundy's comments on tonight's ball game.
When their defense powers their offense.
And let's not forget, Zion's got 4 steals. So he's got 26 points. It is his 24th consecutive game with 20 or more. And so far, he's got better than 50%.
So it looks like Boston will get the ball. So Boston, the call was
better than 50% for the field. Now Marcus Smart.
and that shot is going to be good. So it makes it 110-96.
You want to continue to execute. You don't want to play the clock, especially in the half court.
What a sell. Hey, give Smart credit. They won.
Yeah, that was a charge. That was a charge. So it goes against Zion Williamson.
That's the 14th on the bell.
So 14 turnovers apiece for both teams. Points off of turnovers, Pelicans lead 20-16.
You're in great shape. This is the guy you worry about, though. Josh moving his feet. Fournier. Thought it would go deep triple. No, long 2 instead.
And long 2, no good.
Boxed out. Marcus Smart. And an easy layup.
And an easy layup right there. So it's a layup for so 110-98. That will go back to Boston.
And to me, that's on Josh. Because you have to be the eyes behind Eric Bledsoe. He can't see who's coming, but you can.
Turnover.
So it is a turnover.
And points on the previous possession off a giveaway. Kemba Walker.
Kemba Walker,
In between.
they'll pass it.
Fournier's overdue.
So Fournier will try to get a shot off, and
Saved by Steven Adams.
nope, no good.
His debut is 0 for 10. 0 for 5 on his shows, 0 for 10 overall. Zion's got it against Kemba.
And that's going to be taken away by the
2:40 to play.
Celtics. So the Celtics cut the lead down to 10. 110-100. 31 points for Tatum. So Magic will have the game this coming Thursday night against the Magic. So we'll have that game for you. And they'll try to get a shot off. Josh Hart, no good. So it's going to be a foul on Williams.
That's a big call. That is a big call right there.
And Steven get a free throw.
Most definitely, that was a big call.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's a play on.
Well, the right arm.
I think that's a play on. This is 2 grown men under the rim fighting for position.
Yeah, but the right arm's holding Steven down. He's got his right arm cupped on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with you at this point of the game. But it was going to be difficult for Steven to get to it.
That's going to be 2 free throws. So
Now going to the line for the second time. First trip.
So Adams will attempt his free throw. No good. Miss by Adams. You will get a second attempt.
13 of 17 at the free throw line for the Celtics.
He's be honest with you, he's not a good free throw shooter. He's only 47%.
Dry spell for
So just under 2 minutes remaining. That's going to be a call.
First in the final 2 minutes. It's going to come into the side. So both teams in the bonus now.
So both teams in bonus. So they will shoot.
That's it right. 5 fouls on Josh. Never a dull minute.
So Kemba Walker. So they will go to the line. So 110, 100, 151 remaining.
Slowing down. You know, we talked about Kyron Lewis learning when to downshift and how to downshift. You see the stop and the go right there. And a lot of times when you stop as an offensive player, the defender stops as well.
So free throws coming up, and the first one is up, and it is good. So it's 110, 101. Kemba Walker is a 92% free throw shooter, so he's definitely going to make this free throw.
A game manager. Right. So whether it's Jokic, a 7-footer, or Chris Paul.
So second free throw is good. So 110, 102, 8-0 run by the Celtics.
It's an 8-0 run in 2 minutes. There's literally no rush.
By the top of the shot clock, Brandon Ingram sets it up to Zion.
They will set it up. Bledsoe will attempt the three. No good. So it's going to be off Josh Hart. That ball will go back to the Celtics. So once again, 110, 102.
And I tell you who you give credit to. You give credit to Marcus Smart. Because what he has done is taking the ball out of Zion's hands as far as playing point forward at the end of the game.
So let's see if they can get a shot off. Shot is. So it's a 2-possession game. 110, 104.
See, now you have to be cognizant of Marcus Smart drawing charges again.
Been a while since the balance. Up on the board. Zion gets there.
Zion, nope. Ball goes back to the Celtics.
They continue to score like they have. Extra pass. Taylor.
Extra passes.
Not a bad pass. Williams. Look out. Wrong guy. Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum knocks it down. So 110, 107. The lead's cut. Down to 3.
7 scores for 3.5 minutes now. And Boston brings it down to
I'm gonna tell you, they coming back in this ball game. They definitely coming back. I mean, look, you can't allow Boston to come back in this ball game because they're very good at coming back. They will score. I mean, that was our problem right there. We just sit there. We be lackadaisical and rest on our laurels, thinking that we got this game in hand. Don't think so. This game's back to a 3-point game. Like I said, a 3-point shot can be tie this game up. I mean, they got to like I said, they got to consider that in this game because look, if you don't get those stops, they will score. So score is 110, 107, 110, 107. Shooting aspects. Let's give it those shooting aspects of this game. So let's pull those numbers up. 43%. Boston shooting 14 of 42 from 3-point range. So that's we'll get back to game coverage. They're back quick.
you got to believe you get into a 2-man game potentially with Ingram and Zion.
Yeah, one way or another, the ball has to be in these guys' hands. Understanding that Robert Williams is going to be roaming and looking to contest anything at the rim.
Nikhil back on the floor. Joining Josh Hart. And here comes pressure.
So the ball goes back. So here comes trouble.
Nikhil's more of a 2 than a 1.
They're gonna have to cut. They're gonna have to knock down a 3 and try to ice this game.
Get it back to Zion.
Zion, they'll pass it back to Ingram,
Ingram breaks it off.
and they'll try to get the shot off. It does. Clutch shot makes it 112, 107. So 24 for Ingram. 33 and a half seconds remaining.
Zion's been closing games. That doesn't mean your opportunity's not going to come when your number is called. When your number is called to close games, this is what you do. You close games. Big shot by B.I.
One more stop, it's over. That's what it boils down to. Pels came back, don't forget, and this Boston was trying to spring something similar. Pels came back from a 24-point deficit to win in overtime. Biggest comeback in team history. Lonzo, a factor. Zion and Josh Hart, the double-double off the bench with 17 and 10.
And now what you would expect from Boston right here, because of the time on the clock, is for them to go quick.
They were down by 20. They were down by 24. They won that game 120-115. So they're like I said, that's not out of the realm of possibility. If we can ice this game.
Yeah, those two guys, just like Zion and Brandon Ingram, we figured it'd end up in their hands. One of the two would make a choice, a decision. And it got to Ingram. Well, that's Tatum and Kemba Walker for Brad Stevens. A team that comes into the 500 mark and a winner at home, 13 and 7. This would be a huge road victory for the Pels. Pels just 6 wins on the road out of 20 road trips so far, 20 road games so far.
The ball will go back to the
So they basically going to find out.
And look at Smart hitting the deck, trying to get a call.
Let's see if they looks like he flopped. And the shot is no good. So it's going to be a foul. It's a good defensive stop there.
Because keeping someone like Jason Tatum in front of you one-on-one. If you go back to the flashback, when these two teams met last, you remember the shot that Jason Tatum hit over him to take it into overtime. And Josh Hart has done an excellent job of taking the defensive challenge and making everything that Jason Tatum.
So free throws coming up.
This game, very difficult.
Zion with 26 on 11 of 22. He's right at 50% from the field. So it would be his 24th consecutive game if it stays that way.
So 24.7 seconds remaining.
That's an awful at this point in the game. That is an awful technical foul at this point in the game.
Because you still have 24.7 if the free throws aren't converted.
And the Pelicans have been struggling knocking down free throws down the stretch. So what you've done is basically you've given 4 free throws now.
I mean, Smart should have never done that. Smart should have learned not to do stuff like that. So free throws coming up for the Pels. That's a beneficial aspect for the Pels. So 113-107. So it's going to be free throws coming up for the Pels. That's going to be 4 free throws after that technical foul on Marcus Smart.
Yeah, but he's been selling so often in the second half, they weren't buying this time.
But again, those are reputation calls. And when you have reputation calls, that's what you're accustomed to getting. You're accustomed to receiving the benefit of the whistle.
So Zion, 4 of 5. Not many free throws for Zion, and he was on the attack tonight. He got into the paint a lot.
Second free throw is good. So 114-107, 114-107.
Thursday, 504-525, who join us, okay? And then, if you call that number, ask about next season with this young squad. 504-525-HOOP or Pelicans.com.
And that second, that free throw was no good. So it was Kemba will make an easy basket. So it's 114-109. So at least cut to 114-109. 17.4 seconds remaining in the ball game. It's going to be a foul coming in.
Just make your free throws and it's over. And you've swept the Boston Celtics, and you've also have an ability where you've lost 5 of the last 6 trips in.
Right. This is a you close this game out at the foul line. This is a significant and huge win for this team. Because now you come back home, you have the Orlando Magic, you have the Atlanta Hawks.
So and Zion will get him to the line. First free throw is up, and it is good. Makes it 115-109.
Yeah, it's a big homestand. Big homestand coming up. Magic on Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Aaron, David, AD, they'll start at 6:30.
So we will have that game for you Thursday night. Pelicans versus Magic. And then we'll have the Atlanta Hawks on Friday night as well. And that shot is no good. So Josh Hart will inbound it, so the game will end. Final score 115-109 is your final. So once again, post-game show on the air now. So post-game show, final score 115-109 is your final. Good night for the Pels again after winning against Dallas on Saturday. Very good night coming here. Going to Boston and sweeping the Celtics. So 115-109 is your final. So we will have Stan Van Gundy's press conference once once he comes up. So we will have that for you. And so that will be up in just a few moments. We'll have it for you here on sports. Here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we'll go over to the Stan Van Gundy press conference post game in just a few minutes. Just about 9 minutes, we'll have post game. Okay, let's give you the final stats of this game. Final stats. Final stats of this ball game. Pelicans shot 50%. That's 41 of 82. Good night for the Pels. Shooting the ball, Boston held to 43%. Also, they was held to 32.5% on three-point shots tonight. That was 14 of 43 for them. Pelicans 16 of 31 from three-point range. Pelicans only shooting 56%. Not a good night on the free throw line. 17 of 30. That's just only 56%. You got to be a little bit more consistent on that free throw line. Rebounding aspects, Pelicans led 47-46. Boston led on offensive boards 12-8. Pelicans led on defensive boards 39-34. Assists, Pelicans had 30 assists tonight. Good night for the ball movement aspects. Also steals, Pelicans had 8. Boston had 5. Block shots, Pelicans only had 2. Boston had 9. Turnovers even at 14. Once again, points in the paint. Pelicans led 20-18. They had off those 14 turnovers. Pelicans, Celtics had 14, 18 points in the paint off of those 14 turnovers. So that was a total of fast break points 15-8. In favor of the Pelicans. Points in the paint was 48-46 in favor of the Pelicans tonight. So final score 115-109 is your final score. We'll give you the go ahead and give you the box score performances. Box score performances. Zion Williamson with 28 points, 11 of 22, 8 rebounds tonight. He also went 6 of 9 from the floor, from the field, free throw line. Brandon Ingram has 25 points. He was 7 of 17. He had 1 rebound tonight. He also shot 3 of 5 from three-point range. He went 8 of 11 from the charity stripe. Adams had 4. He was 0 for 4 from the charity stripe tonight, but he went 2 for 2 from the floor. Eric Bledsoe had 13 points. He went 4 of 9 from the floor, 4 of 8 from the three-point line. He also had 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He went -8. Also, Dekel Walker had 17 points, 7 of 15 shooting from the floor. He also had 7 rebounds tonight. He went 0 for 2 from the line tonight. Also, Jackson Hayes had 4 points tonight. He also had 4 rebounds. Kyra Lewis had 9 points, 3 of 6 from the floor. He also had 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Josh Hart, 15 points, 5 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, and also 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. He also had 15 total rebounds, 13 on defense, 2 on offense tonight for Kyra Lewis. So good night for the Pelicans. Now for the Boston Celtics, Williams had 3, Tatum had 34, Robert Williams had 7, Walker had 23, Smart had 15, Cornette had 10, Pritchard had 11 for the Boston Celtics. So final score 115-109 is your final here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thanks for coming in. Let's see who just commented. Yeah, we almost blew it. Ghost, we almost blew it, but the truth of the matter is, look, at least they came back and excelled on this situation. So we didn't deserve. I mean, look, Boston, look, they won. They was down by 24 in the last game. The Pelicans played them in New Orleans, but the Pelicans definitely came back. This is a very they did blow it. I have to agree with you. So 115-109 is your final score. So we will give you the 4 quarter stats. I'm going to go over to the 4 quarter stats via flash score. So let's give you those 4 quarter numbers. Okay, 4 quarter numbers. Pelicans shot 30. Boston shot 38%. That's 10 of 26. Pelicans 8 of 15, 53. 2-point shooting. Pelicans went 4 of 8, 50%. Boston only 38%. So they only got 38% of their shots off, 7 of 18. 3-point shooting, Pelicans 4 of 7 in the 4th quarter, 57%. Boston 3 of 8, 37%. Also tonight, the free throws were absolutely just trash. 46% for the Pels. That's not good. I mean, when you have to get on the line. You have to make those opportunities to get those shots down from the charity stripe. Because if you don't, you will not win the game. Period. End of story. So tonight, 56% totally on the line. It's not going to get it. So they have to be better going on the free throw line. Sure, they can hit the threes and all that, and that's fine. But when you get on that charity stripe, you better make those free throws. So let's give you the rebounding aspects. Pelicans on offensive boards trail 6-1. Also, the Pelicans on defensive boards led 9-8. They also trail 14-10. So Boston won the 4th quarter when it comes to rebounding aspects the game. So they did win both total and offensive boards. So the turnovers was 4-3 in the 4th quarter. So 4-3 in the 4th quarter. You got to be more consistent in the 4th quarter when it comes down to it. Not give up those petty turnovers, because that's going to cost you a game. So final score 115-109 is your final. We are here for post-game coverage. If you want to come in and comment about tonight's basketball game, Pelicans win 115-109. Please come on down through Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're on those 3 sites, you can come in and give us your opinion. If you saw the game tonight, what is your analysis of this game? So we'll be waiting for Stan Van Gundy in just a few moments. He should be up in about a minute and a half. So we're waiting for him to come up. So let's go ahead and give you some NBA scores before we send it over to Stan Van Gundy for tonight's post-game comments. Okay, let's give you a full scoreboard update, NBA. So I'm going to give you a full scoreboard update. Okay, NBA scores, full scoreboard. Detroit leading 108-90. So that's they're leading 108-90. Also, Houston down 110-106 to Memphis. That game's going on in the fourth, 3:59 remaining in that one. Also, Spurs down 95-86 to the Sacramento Kings. Also, it is Utah on top 53-34. That game's going on at halftime. Also, Golden State on top 9-6. That game's going on in the first. So that's the games that just started. Milwaukee on top 7-6. Other games tonight. Finals. Utah winning 132-124. Also, Brooklyn winning 112-107, 112-107. James Harden drained the three versus the Timberwolves. Now Miami gets back on track, winning 98-88. Jimmy Butler 27, 5 boards and 6 assists. So he had a pretty good night for the Miami Heat. Also, Dallas winning 127-104. Kristaps Porzingis 20 points, 9 boards, 5 assists. So Porzingis, they don't have Luka Doncic, but they have Porzingis back. So they had 20. He had 20 points tonight, and 9 boards and 5 assists. So once again, we will have Stan Van Gundy's press conference in just a few moments. We're waiting for Stan Van Gundy to appear. So he should be up in a second. So final score of 115-109 is your final. So we'll give you an update on the NCAA tournaments going on in the Elite Eight. So I'm going to give you the Elite Eight scores. Let me switch those over to the Elite Eight scores. Okay, Elite Eight games going on in the NCAA tournament. Baylor on top 13-2. That's in the first. Now it's 15-3. So 15-3 is your score. Also, Houston advanced to the Final Four. Final score 67-61. So Houston will be going to the Final Four. So that's in the basketball games tonight in the NCAA tournament. So we'll wait for, once again, Stan Van Gundy to appear. So we're just waiting for him. We'll set him up for y'all. Okay, in the women's tournament, let's give you an update on the women's games going on. Okay, women's games, it is Arizona on top 35-27. That game's in the third quarter. Let's give you an update on UConn and Baylor. So UConn wins by 69-67. So UConn is going to the Final Four. Congratulations to the UConn women's team winning 69-67. They're going, so that's we'll be waiting. Stan Van Gundy, so we're going to switch over to Stan Van Gundy. So I got to get this in. So let me switch my screen, and I'll put the Stan Van Gundy press conference in. So we got to put the mics right here so you can hear him. So let me go ahead and put that in.
And we play the last 5-6 minutes of that game great. Then we have a blowout win, and then we have Denver at home, and we play the last 6 minutes poorly. Then we have Dallas, and we play the last 6 minutes great. And then tonight, we play the last 6 minutes poorly again. Our guys have got to learn what it takes to close out games, and we're playing consistently now 42 minutes of good basketball, and we've got to learn to close out games in a consistent manner when we have that kind of lead.
Speaking of learning, BI had 9 assists tonight. Do you feel like he's handling double teams better, that he's growing in that area?
Well, I thought he was great tonight. Yeah, I mean, I think he's been pretty good all year. He gets frustrated at times and feels like we need a bucket and wants to go get one. And he had a huge one tonight in a one-on-one on the pull-up. But, yeah, he did a great job finding people tonight. And, you know, Nikhil's shooting the ball really well. That really helped us. So, yeah, I thought BI's performance was outstanding.
Well, Coach, I have to ask you about Josh Hart. Again, he's just been phenomenal. He's had 15 rebounds now in 2 of the last 4 games, and even when the shot isn't falling for him, he continues to get it done on that end. But when the shot is falling for him, he's a pretty formidable player to deal with.
Yeah, there's no question. I love his defensive intensity. I love his rebounding. But he's got to take care of the ball. The turnovers killed us tonight, you know.
Looks like we have a little issues. Let me see if I can
Have those turnovers.
switch.
Hey, Coach, also, you were able to close the first 3 quarters out. I know what happened in the fourth, but in the first 3 quarters, you went on big runs to end each of those quarters, and that really helped keep a little separation between yourself and the Celtics. They weren't able to make those runs at the end of the quarters.
Well, you know, their game plan was obviously to just pack the paint on Zion and Brandon, and there were shots open for people, and we shot the ball well. So that's what you have to do against that. I mean, they were really coming 5 guys into the paint. So our guys stepped up and made shots tonight.
Stan, since that Minnesota game, I mean, you guys, I think, have been a middle-of-the-pack defensive team. Just what are you seeing from your guys in terms of your understanding of the effort and focus you need to bring on defense every night?
I thought the defense down the stretch was really good. I thought, you know, we really fought hard. You know, they wanted to come off screens and shoot the 3. Our guys were right there. We did a great job on that. We made the shots inside tough. I thought we did a really, really good job of that. So, yeah, I was happy with what we did.
Yeah, and I believe this is Kyra's 7th straight game with 0 turnovers. Just what do you think about the way he's operating within the offense and his decision making?
You know, I said it, I think, you know, to you guys either before or after. Like, he just makes simple, solid basketball plays. He doesn't get careless. He doesn't try to hit home runs. You know, he makes the simple play consistently, and that's a pretty good way to be a point guard in this league. You know, the best players make the routine plays consistently. You know, we all go crazy over the great plays, but the best players just make the routine plays consistently, and that's what Kyra is doing.
Hey, Stan, to get in a situation, I mean, it was unfolding similar to how it did in Portland, to be able to hit a shot like that down the stretch for BI and then just, you know, obviously win the game in that, you know, after going through that. Does that show growth? Does that show anything, or is it just, you know?
I said to you guys, like, the other night, like, I just think you guys would be making too much of, you know, him down the stretch in games. I mean, if you just go our last.
Not so much him, but just like the team in general.
Well, I don't know if we showed any growth tonight, to be honest. I mean, we had a big lead and turnovers were bad. I mean, he hit a huge shot that kept us afloat, but, you know, too many turnovers, and the free throws are, you know, they're absurd down the stretch for NBA players. I mean, we get a flagrant foul, and then on the inbounds we get fouled, and we come away with 1 point out of a possible 4. I mean, that makes it really tough down the stretch when all you have to do defensively is foul us. You know, I mean, we've got to be able to step to the line and shoot free throws better than this.
Hey, Stan, I'm gonna bring up the Brandon clutch numbers, but bear with me for a second. I just want to put it in some context real quick. I know you said the other night it was, you know, you could pull 79 minutes from any player and point out the bad numbers. His fourth quarter numbers as a whole this year, 280, 300 minutes. His percentages are down. He's shooting 42, 33 from 3. Do you think he's putting too much pressure on himself? Because it seems like in the Denver game and in tonight, he felt it seems like there's a corner being turned because he can see Zion kind of getting his shots and getting the offense in a rhythm, whereas he can kind of settle down a little bit more.
Again, I don't think there's any problem. I mean, I don't think the guy has any trouble with pressure or anything else. I do think, right, that, you know, he's a little more. I mean, first of all, percentages go down in the fourth quarter, right? They go down. And especially for the better players. The game gets more physical. People are into you, and you're a little bit tired. I think that pretty much explains it all for BI. I don't think he's abnormal from a lot of other players. I just think that's searching for something negative on him. I mean, the guy's a great player. He did a great job down the stretch at Denver. He did a great job tonight. There's other games where he misses shots. I don't see him missing badly. I don't see him afraid to shoot the ball. I just don't see the problem. You guys can write whatever you want. I don't see the problem.
To that, I'm going back to what you said earlier about him putting pressure on himself in certain situations, and he was able to come through tonight. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does put pressure on himself to the point he gets upset at himself. I don't think it affects him on the floor. Like, I just think, after the game, like after that Denver game, with the 2 threes he missed and the 1 17-footer and the drive, like he gets really, really upset at himself and takes that hard. But I also think it drives him to be better. And that was a big-time shot where we didn't execute what we were supposed to execute on that play, and he went and made a play. That's what great players do.
Thanks.
Yeah, and a few games ago, we asked you about Bled's struggles on offense, and you said, I don't care about whether the shots go in, I just want him to stay confident on that side. Does it feel like his confidence is starting to come back on offense?
Absolutely, and let's make sure we're paying attention to his defense. The other night he steps up on Tim Hardaway, who had killed us in the first half, makes it tough on him, and ask Kimba how easy it was tonight with Bled on him. I mean, you work for everything. Bled's killing it defensively. So, listen, every player in this league is going to go through stretches, and that's happened to him. But, yeah, I think he's playing really, really well right now, and he's a huge part of us winning these games lately.
And y'all won 4 of 5. I'm not going to ask about turn corners, don't worry. But just the idea that do you see this team playing a little bit more comfortable together than maybe even in Portland, or do you see anything as far as that's different, or is this just a team that happens to be winning games that they were and playing in some?
Well, I think we're playing harder on the defensive end of the floor. I think that's the big difference. I think we're getting after it harder on the defensive end of the floor. And since that Minnesota game, I mean, we've played pretty consistently, right? I mean, we haven't had a bad game. Like, we had the bad loss in Portland where they came back, but we didn't play a bad game. In fact, for 42 minutes, we played really well. We came back the next night. We played a damn good, hard-fought, competitive game where we defended. We've done that straight out right now. So our guys are gaining more consistency in their approach and their toughness and everything else. We're not coming with those games where it's just easy for other teams. So that's not turning a corner, because as soon as we get away from that and go back to just trying to play offense, we'll be right back to where we were before.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, once again, Stan Van Gundy talk about tonight's game. I'll be honest with you. Look, what he said about the free throws tonight was absolutely on point. Because when you shoot 50 plus % on the free throw line, you're not winning the game. I hate to say it. That's just reality right there. So. Final score 115-109 is your final score tonight here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you coming in. We'll be back tomorrow. LSU baseball. LSU will take on South Alabama. Hopefully LSU can come back after a rough weekend up in Nashville. So we will have LSU baseball for you here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So once again, for myself, pushing the buttons here on StreamYard for Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Everybody have a good rest of your Monday night. And we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have sports talk tomorrow. I have a doctor's appointment, so I probably will have sports talk tomorrow, probably in the even hours or whatever. So But we will have LSU baseball. They will take on South Alabama tomorrow night. So everybody have a good rest of your Monday evening.